Hello and welcome to Church Street Park. It's a third consecutive day of minor league cricket, and it's absolutely magical. You see the scenes already. It's picturesque, this venue, and it holds a special place in our heart. And today, we'll see the Baltimore Royals take on the Atlanta Lightning in what's set to be the first game of our triple header of non-stop action on MLC Network. Before we get into anything, we have to know what happened in the middle. I was joined by the two captains just earlier. Have a listen. Last time here at Church Street Park, have the two captains alongside me, Sharad Lumba of the Baltimore Royals and Manik Patel of the Atlanta Lightning, as well as our third umpire for today. Sharad, you have the coin in hand.
Heads.
The call is a head.
It's heads.
And it's come down a head. So Manik, you've once again won the toss. What have you elected to do and why?
We'll bowl first. There's some moisture on the pitch, and looks like once it gets dry, it gets better. And once we know the target, we'll be able to chase it down.
You guys played yesterday. Quick turnaround for you guys. How have you guys got back together?
Yeah, I feel like we are used to the condition now. It was a good game against Orlando. Now we know the condition. We want to make sure that we apply ourselves better with the ball. Especially, we were really great with the bat, but we want to make sure that we apply ourselves with the ball in the power play, especially.
Any changes in your 11 today?
No, we're playing with the same team.
Good luck today, Manik. Sharad, tough luck with the toss. Had you have won it, what did you want to do?
I think it was a tough decision to take because it's a third match straight away going on this wicket. So I think maybe it will be good for us to bat first on this wicket because the sixth inning will be played by them. And I hope we can put a good order on the board.
Yeah, you guys have had the 1 day of rest. What has been the conversation amongst the group to get back into the game state?
Actually, I think we played a good last game and there was a couple of things we need to improve. So that was a thing over there, and it was like a good rest day yesterday we have, and everybody's ready for that today.
Finally, any changes in your 11?
No, we're playing the same 11.
Well, good luck today, Sharad. Well, there you go. That is the word from the middle. The Atlanta Lightning, once again, they have won the toss, and once again, they've elected to bowl. Confirmation there at the toss. It is the Atlanta Lightning who will be bowling first for a second consecutive day. No teams make any changes, and we'll see which of these two teams can get themselves into the win column early. I'm Manik Patel, joined by Nate Hayes. As always, Nate, it's the day. It's the one we've been waiting for.
There are 3 games today. This is the very first one, and we got to be energetic. We got to be ready to go. I think this is going to be a very interesting game. Manik Patel, as we mentioned yesterday, was searching for that early wicket, didn't get it. They're going to need to get it today, I think, against this wonderful Baltimore Royals team. It's
an amazing point you bring up. Remember, they took on the Orlando Galaxy yesterday, who were 83 for none after 10 overs against this Lightning unit. Now, they don't have the depth that the Royals do, and so they were only able to manage not even 160. If the Royals today get 83 for none in the first 10, you can almost pencil in 190 as a minimum score from that point for them.
100%. We've got 2 loaded teams here. Anytime you got Jasker and Malhotra coming in a little bit later in the innings, you've got a pretty solid team.
Yeah, no question. We'll see the opening pair, if it remains the same, would be the one of Sharad Lumba and Agni Chopra, the two MI New York men, who Manik Patel would know very well, having that connection from Major League Cricket. It'd be interesting to see who the Lightning go with to open the bowling. Remember, yesterday, they went with the Kilposa, but he only bowled the 1 over because he gave up 16 from it, including 11 off the very first delivery with a 4 no ball and then a 6 to follow. Does Manik Patel go back to him, or is it 2 brand new openers, Nate?
Well, right now we see a hatless Heath Richards practicing his run-up, so it looks like maybe he'll get the ball to start for Atlanta Lightning. This isn't too surprising. I was wondering if we would see this yesterday, but yes, the teams are the same from their last games, each of them. So where will we see Posa if we don't see him in the start?
Yeah, again, this is a unit for the Baltimore Royals that bats so deep, so you need your bowlers. Again, the key man, Agni Chopra, first MLC minor league game just a couple of days ago, and he scores a 50 on debut. But then you look at the depth. You have a Gunwarjit Singh in the back end, a Mukhtar Ahmed, a Jasker Malhotra. You even have a Rishi Ramesh who will come later on, Adil Bhatti, Mohammad Mohsin, batting for days on this Royals lineup. And for the Atlanta Lightning, it'll be all about their bowlers. Can they restrict? Because they have some exceptional options to go to. Heath Richards, he'll be one of them, and he'll take the first delivery. Clipped away. Similar starts to yesterday for the Lightning. 4 runs off the leg side of the left-hander.
Yeah, Chopra is not going to pass up that. As you mentioned, he had a great start to his minor league career. I spoke with him a little bit after the game. He seems very happy to be involved.
Yeah, immediate runs for Agni Chopra. Heath Richards, however, he looked quite good yesterday, didn't he? 4 overs, 32 for 1 for 32 is what he put up in his spell, and it's maybe the best we've seen him bowl. His action looks a bit more fluid than it has in years previous.
Yeah, he looks very effortless, and we'll see how he adjusts here after that first delivery.
Better line. That's where you want Agni Chopra playing. Chopra, he showed his ability not only to score boundaries, but to really facilitate with the run scoring in terms of singles. Picked his spots beautifully.
Yeah, we are in for a treat here with the opening batting from both teams. We saw that great partnership to start yesterday with Manak Patel.
And now will be Sharad Lumba, who make his way on to strike. And if you recall, Lumba didn't have that big score that he was after. Did and managed to get to 37 off of just 24, but he felt disappointed when he got out.
Yeah, not a bad start to the season. But there were more runs there for him to take.
It was aerial for a moment. Chopra does well to get down. You know, speaking to Heath Richards actually before the game, I was talking to him and Akil Bosa, and you know, Bosa was saying, and you know, maybe teasing Heath Richards a bit, but saying he's got a couple more clicks if you were just running a bit harder. And he says, yeah, I can bowl faster, but it tends to just vary in the line. So there's still even more for Heath Richards to tap into in terms of him with the ball.
That was a nice delivery there. Moving away from Lumba. We've seen Heath Richards here a lot at Church Street Park. If you remember a couple of years back, he bowled in some really crucial moments in the death. I feel like he has a lot of potential in that role.
Yeah, I think it's just him trying to continue to acclimate himself to it. Again, the action seemingly is more smooth. He hasn't gotten to running in as hard through the creases. Maybe he has the potential to do. But there's much more confidence about the way he's bowling, and you see it there because of the arm slot, finding himself, again, that action back to what it used to be. He's getting swing again.
Yeah, I think if you're getting results like that, if you're getting shape on the ball that he just got there, you mentioned that he might have a little more oomph in the tank. You don't need it if you're moving the ball that well and hitting that line and length.
Strong recovery from Heath Richards. 5 runs off the first 2 balls, but then 4 consecutive dots to close over number 1. 5 for none. So it is a brand new opening bowling partnership here for the Atlanta Lightning. Yesterday, they went with Akil Posa and then Sohab Tai. Today, they've gone with Heath Richards, and now they've gone to Amila Aponzo. Nate, what do you make of that move?
Well, it just shows the options they have. They have a lot of options. However, I'd like to see Posa get another chance. We saw him loose on his first 2 deliveries yesterday. He gave up 11 runs on his first 2 deliveries, but after that, he was a run a ball, and I felt like maybe that was a little harsh that he didn't get back in.
Yeah, again, this is a ploy we see from the Lightning quite a bit. They like to go one pacer, one spinner.
it's hard to argue against Amila.
It's because of this. He gets great drift through the air, and because he bowls so quickly, he forces you to play at the ball and push at the ball.
So we've got 3 games today, stacked up against each other, butted up against each other real tight. So the pace of play today is going to really matter.
It's been a bit sluggish, hasn't it? We've been over 3.5 hours almost every game that we've seen so far, and today you can't afford it because we got the game at 10 that just took place. Then the next game's at 2 p.m. local time here, and then after that it's 6 p.m. local time. So consistently going to need to continue to just fly through the overs. What may help with that is 2 teams with a lot of spin options.
Yeah, lots and lots of spin here. I was actually a little surprised we didn't see Amila starting with the ball yesterday, considering he's quite good at it.
Yeah, and again, for Amila Ponzo, he's so versatile because he can do both, can't he? He's not someone who needs the ball to be turning quite a bit. He is able to get it to swing away, or he can use a turn if it's available. So he's got a couple of different options to go to, and he just puts batters in an awkward position because his variations really come mostly from the pace in which he delivers. And very important to clog Agni Chopra's singles. I think if you can do that, you can force him to play an unnatural shot.
And that's why that wide was so important. Took a little bit of the pressure off because right now you're going at a run a ball this over.
And there it is. That's a stroke there that Chopra's maybe just thrown his hands at harder than he would have.
Yeah, Lumba really had no interest in even trying for a single on the prior ball. We mentioned how similar Chopra's running urgency is to Malik, who was a mainstay on this squad in past seasons.
Gets home. Just gets home. A little fumble at cover allows for that single, but still a pressure-packed over. Just 4 from it. 2 overs gone, 9 for none. So more Heath Richards, and you understand why. Just 5 from his first, but that was just off the first 2 deliveries, those 5. Since then, he's created a lot of issues for Sharad Lumba in particular.
His first ball was really the only one that was problematic. Here he goes with that height again, crowding the batter.
It would be hard-pressed to believe that this man is not even 22 years old yet. Maybe just turned 22, rather. But a very young man, but again, incredibly built. And because of his stature, he just creates so many questions because he can get that extra bit of balance, but then his action just provides a bit of sling, doesn't it, on the way through, and that's where he gets his outswing from.
Yeah, he's quite a big guy, and especially for his age. It is crazy that he's that young still.
Bit of tail in on that occasion from Heath Richards. And you can see he has the two arm slots that he can use. He can throw it up a bit higher, and then, again, I think the more natural one, it comes about at a 80-degree angle. Oh, just away. Just away. Aaron Chenchu, he's incredibly agile, but couldn't do enough to keep that one in his hands.
Oh, that's hard luck there for Heath. Did not deserve 4 runs from that. See, Lumba throws his hands at it, maybe a little bit too wide to get away with something like that. If you're the batter, you can easily get away with that.
That'd be time to enact a slip for Monank Patel. And that was ployed from Heath. He got the last one to tail back in, and this one he's dared Lumba to chase.
Yeah.
Still no slip in place. I just think this early with Lumba struggling, you can afford that slip fielder.
We saw it yesterday too. A lack of slip fielding for Atlanta Lightning early on.
Fielder in place. We'll just keep it to 1. Yeah, Lumba's been in a bit of a rut and to start this innings in particular. And it might just throw some pressure on Agni Chopra, who's moving at a run of balls where he likes to be early on in his innings, but maybe put some pressure on him to start to get going a touch sooner.
Yeah, we have mentioned in the past what constitutes a good score in the power play here. I think it depends on your team.
Heath has been absolutely brilliant. It doesn't matter what you're looking to score when he's bowling the way he is. Again, it's the channel and the line that he's found since that initial boundary.
Just a swing and a miss there. But yeah, I would say with a team like Baltimore, you're definitely behind your run rate, what you would like to have in the power play. Considering the depth of their batting, you definitely want to get off to a good start. It helps the rest of the order bat the way they want.
That one leaves Chopra, showing off all the variations. Just another 5 runs from the middle 2 because of the boundary, but another splendid over. 3 gone, 17 for none. Pressure is mounting on the Royals as Aponzo starts his second. Runs. Just clipped off the hips of Sharad Lumba, and they'll come back for a second as well.
Saw some good movement through the air there, maybe a little bit too much as it went to the hip of Lumba. But that just goes to show you how dangerous that delivery is from Aponzo.
Again, we've seen it time and time again with Aponzo against the right-handers so far at Church Street. He hasn't looked to spin the ball back away. He's almost said, I'm just going to keep going at your legs, at the stumps.
That ball didn't do much off the wicket, but it was the line and the pace of it that threw off Lumba's timing. after getting a couple of arm balls right on the hip.
Again, another arm ball. It's all angled towards the stumps, and now that's 3 consecutive dot balls, all to Sharad Lumba. After that over with Heath Richards, you just feel that this could be an issue mounting for the Royals captain. Change in the field. Taking out fine leg is adding another. Now Manak Patel just wants that fine leg to be closer and straighter. So it's taking away that option for an easy run from Lumba. That's a gift. A real gift to just break the pressure that Lumba was under.
Tries to go wide again, as he did a couple balls ago, which at the time took the batter by surprise. This time it doesn't. Just, I think, over pitched for that line.
Yeah, absolutely. Just wrong length. Too full. And Lumba, that's what he's after, right? He likes to get onto the front foot and drive with his hands. He's so good through those cover regions. So if you give him that, no matter what the pressure circumstance is, he'll always find the rope. That time in the gap on the leg side. Picks up 4 more. An end to the over. That is fruitful. 4 overs gone, 27 for none.
And you can see the replay here. Miller with the arm ball again, quick. And the batter knows with the fine leg up, he's got to put a little bit of something on the ball.
And for Miller, those are just 2 deliveries that he'd want back. He went too full, too wide on that 5th delivery, and then the last one, he just got too short and too far down the leg side, and there was no stumps to be impacted by either of those deliveries, and that was the real difference. The first 4 deliveries of the over, everything had the stumps involved. Those last 2, it just gave Lumba the license.
Well, right, and when you're attacking the stumps with the quality of a bowler like Amila Aponzo, you're always a threat.
Funny Samhadri. This is the man who is the leading wicket taker in the history of minor league cricket. Number 2, well, he's sitting in the dugout right now in Sharad Lumba and Sarbjit Ladda.
We mentioned yesterday how the great thing about Funny Samhadri is you can insert him at any point in the innings. He can bowl in the middle overs, he can bowl in the power play, and he's special into the depth.
Well, that is not a special way to start a full toss, and Agni Chopra meets it with utter disdain.
Whew. I just said he was special, and then he threw a thigh-high hanging curveball, basically. Baseball terminology there, but you can see the ball drifting in the air. That's what he does so well, but Fani has to hit the pitch.
Yeah, oftentimes he'll start his innings with that full toss, just trying to find his radar. Little bobble from Mark Parchment there. Excuse me, not Mark Parchment, but a little fumble will just make that one an easy single. That one off of Nicholas Manohar.
The Canadian, he was quite good yesterday with the bat, rotating strike quite a lot. Speaking of rotating strike, we've seen Lumba soak up a lot of dot balls. Maybe breaking up the rhythm here a little bit for Chopra as they learn how to partner with each other early in the season.
That's up in the air, should be taken, and comfortably is. It is Mark Parchment on the receiving end, and Lumba's painful day comes to a close.
Minor league wicket number 89 for Fani Samhadri as he continues his hot weekend. This is 4th this weekend. It only took him 3 balls today to get in the wickets. But you can see that ball moving today for Funny quite a bit. Take a look here. This is what he does so well. He drops down with the arm, almost totally sidearm, and you see that ball drifting, and Lumba just can't hold back. Mistimes it, and skied it straight to mid-off.
Lumba departs for just 16. It's 32 for 1.
So Funny strikes. We've talked about how he leads all of minor league in wickets right now by a margin of 2 over Sarabjit Lada, who's in the Baltimore side. So today it's a matchup against the 2 highest wicket takers in league history.
It's going to be a fun one, and you know that as well because Mukhtar Ahmed has just made his way out into the middle, and he can strike some lusty blows, and I'm not sure he's going to hold back against Samadri. So battle brewing. Watchful to start is Ahmed, and maybe picking his spots as well, understanding that Samadri has a snack. He wants Mukhtar to go big.
Such a unique bowler. I love unique guys like this, like the Andrew Ties, people who do things that nobody else really does. Funny. Left hand bowler, first of all. Comes sidearm and basically throws curveballs, it looks like. Oof.
Chenchu's done well enough to keep it from being anything other than 1 off the wide. And with his action, there's that bit of variability in terms of he might even get it wrong at times, but you're okay with Samadri getting it wrong because it feels as if it's all in part of a plan.
He got it wrong because his ball did too much. That's not so bad.
There's worse problems to have, there's no doubt about it. Now dealing with the lefties. Most of his wickets come against the right-handers. I think there's bat first, Funny. I think there might have been bat first there. I think that's the only thing that would have saved Agni Chopra.
It's quite a noise. It sounded like a bat noise from here.
You can see Agni and Funny shared a fist bump, and Agni, after the fist bump, says, "I think the ball's gotten that square, mate. I've crushed this."
If I was batting, this would be an LBW. Yeah, definitely got bat there. The umps would have definitely fallen for Funny's appeal if I was batting. There's no doubt.
Climbs into it and picks up his first boundary of the day, and it's the glorious 6 from Mukhtar Ahmed to close over number 5, 41 for 1.
And Funny trades 14 runs in the over for the wicket. Feels like almost a draw after that 6 there from Mukhtar. Anytime you get Mukhtar and Ahmed in the middle, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, never a bad thing to get Mukhtar Ahmed into the middle, and again, he can do that very thing. So that's going to be the battle. Funny's going to toss the carrot out. Does he outfox Mukhtar Ahmed consistently, or does he end up falling victim with boundaries falling around him?
So if Ty gets the ball, we saw him the first to finish his quota yesterday. Manonk kind of went with him on the trot while he was shifting at the other end every over to a different bowler. Agni Chopra on strike here to start the 6th over, the last of the power play.
And these always become so crucial. Oftentimes you see spinners enacted in this period just to see, again, you know the batters understand that the field will have to open up after this. So, do they get just an extra bit aggressive, and can you take advantage of it by throwing the spinner in there to test the patience of both batters?
Ooh. Well, there was a scamper there after a pretty thick edge there from Chopra. Sends the ball into the offside. Got a batter hit again with a ball on a run-out attempt. This time not in the head.
And that's always a win. It seems like Chopra's all right, moving okay as well. But there are going to be some demons in this pitch. I went to feel it this morning. Now, it was a bit more moist out there when I went to go out in the middle. But it was much softer than it's been the last 2 days. It's the third consecutive match on this very surface.
Heaves it over just to the fielder. No problem. Actually, that was not a fielder. That was somebody watching. So that's 4 runs right there.
Yeah, Mukhtar Ahmed, he's just so quick in between his shot selections, and once he sees one on the wrong line, he's able to just cash in effortlessly. And yeah, the only fielder that could affect that was the Lightning's support staff walking around.
He tries again this time. Misses.
It was a good change of pace from Sohabtai. Slows it down. And again, Mukhtar Ahmed, he's so reliant on that sweep shot, and it's so natural for him to play it. Once he kind of sees it in his zone, he's going to commit. So a change of pace is always crucial.
Goes back a little quicker this time. And Mukhtar, his aggression, he swings right over the top of it. Eats the ball.
And that's the ploy that we've seen here. Again, it's tossing that carrot out, having that fine leg fielder in, daring Mukhtar Ahmed to take this ball over the top of fine leg. The risk that you can do, if it edges, there's a packed region at third ready for it. If it comes off the pads, it's right in front. And then, if you don't connect, fine leg inside the ring has a chance to get involved and catch it. Again, Mukhtar's playing his practice stroke outside the stumps, but he hasn't gotten his foot clear of off stump yet. So the LBW is still very much in play.
Mukhtar clearly aware there's only 2 more balls left in this power play, and he wants to maximize them. Ooh, look at the turn there. That's quite a bit of turn from an off spinner.
And again, whilst the grass is on the pitch still, there's plenty of greenery. Because the softest nature of it, the ball is just catching into the grass and ripping off. So there's going to be plenty of turn on offer if you slow it down and let the ball really grip into it.
That ball turned about 3 or 4 stomps worth. And now Ty going around to the left-handed batting Chopra for the final ball of the power play. Reverse sweep attempt. It looks like there's an appeal here. Nothing. A swing and a miss, and the bouncing eager Chopra ends with a dot ball at the end of 6. 47 for 1.
Members of the Atlanta Lightning staff and fan club all around got the drums out, and that's a staple. You're going to see flags, but you're going to hear the drums anytime you come out to any game where the men in yellow and blue are taking the field.
And they are all over the ground, confusing me at times for a fielder. Because they're wearing the same uniform.
They've all got a jersey on. You know what? You got to love it. This is the beautiful thing about minor league, the connections it creates with individuals in the cricketing community and in the community in general. They're the flags you're speaking of. They plant them everywhere they go. Again, this is not a home venue for them. They're listed as the away team even. And they'll show up to represent. Nate, this was the move we were wondering. When does Akil Posa come in? It's right here in the 7th over.
Ooh, plenty of movement there from Posa. What a delivery. That might be the best delivery we've seen from him this weekend. I'm pretty happy to see Posa back in the attack. We've seen so much turn that I was wondering if he was going to get in the attack today. But my goodness, that ball moved quite well off the wicket for him.
He's added quite a bit of pace from last season in particular. And last season, circumstances made him more of a cutter bowler. Today, you can see him bowling seam up, looking to rip it.
Right off the hip there. And there's a scramble to get the ball back in time, but safely the batters change ends. And we've got a leg by there.
Yeah, and again, what you see from Akil Posa, he's a different length than Heath Richards and Fani Samandri, who are both looking to pitch it up. Akil Posa is more your traditional seamer. He's looking to run through the crease hard. He's looking to hit the deck hard and trying to get a bit of extra bounce. And then off the wicket is where he'll get his movement. And he's sticking to bowling over the wicket for Agni Chopra. And I would love to see him hit the length here and just get the ball to leave the left-hander.
Ooh, you see that? That was an excellent delivery. As you mentioned, trying to hit that length, let the ball do some work, and that ball rose up a little bit more than I think Chopra expected.
And again, I hadn't seen Posa with the ball in hand in almost a year, live and in person. And yesterday during warm-ups, you saw him run in with his full run-up, and you saw there's a bit more pace involved. And maybe with the slightly older ball, he just feels that much more confident to fly through the crease.
Swivel and hit safely over the circle, but just a single.
Yeah, plenty of protection for Posa. And again, with his length at the moment, having that extra fielder backward square makes a lot of sense. Now, the one thing to note is he doesn't have a deep point, so you can't afford to be wide and give any width to Mukhtar Ahmed.
You see the field giving a tell on the tactic here. Once again, back a length. Ahmed leans back and just guides it into space.
And again, the ploy there from Mukhtar Ahmed is to hang back, but he was waiting for that ball to start to leave him, and he's trying to lift it over point, knowing that there is no fielder there. But again, because he's been disciplined, Posa, with the line, he's not been giving Ahmed nor Chopra the ability to access those areas. This is a brilliant comeback over from yesterday's affair.
And we see a wide down the leg side from Posa, as maybe he struggles a little bit with the lefty-righty swapping.
But that's where you want him to miss. If he's going to miss wide, you don't want him to miss wide on the offside against Agni Chopra at the moment. Again, because of the field set. If Chopra connects on this, sure, it has the opportunity to fly over fine leg. But there's a deep backward square. So if he is ahead of the ball, there's a fielder that has the opportunity to make that play.
Oh, and he misses again down the leg. This one's wide on the leg side there.
I just want to have a second look at this if we can. It was given wide, but I want to see Chopra's selection. Maybe we weren't able to get to it before this delivery. Might have to wait till between the overs. But I just want to have another look at that last wide.
Swatted away for 4 there. Nice shot from Chopra, as Posa kind of is forced to come a little more full and at the stumps after the last couple of wides. And that's the end of the over. Posa started very well. A little too easy there for Chopra to slash through the covers for 4.
Yeah, no question. I think that's part of the fact that the last 2 wides had happened on a length, so he's just trying to correct and overcorrects. And you can see Monik Patel saying can't be that full and that wide. Again, we want to take you back to the ball before the 4, that wide decision. Just look at the shot from Agni Chopra. I guess he hasn't technically gone to to a position where he's reverse sweeping or scooping. I think that was more my question when I saw it live, and it's actually a great decision from the umpire.
Yeah.
Initially, I would have said, "Oh, it can't be wide, can it?" Because he's almost gone to ramp.
I
But
see.
he stayed like side of the ball. He was just almost looking to flick.
He didn't do a full amount of harsh, changing completely, like we saw yesterday a few times from the youngster. That was against spinners, of course. Now Ponzo back in, and just smothered for a scampering single from Mukhtar Ahmed. Mukhtar very active in the crease. And the two of these, you can imagine, will take every single that's there on offer and stretch everything to two that they can. Good shape from Aponzo, attacking the stumps again. Very full and flicked away for an easy two.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things have changed now for the Royals. Fields spread out. Mukhtar Ahmed seemingly has settled back in, but Agni Chopra is looking to get into the next gear of his innings. He's now looking to be more explosive with the bat. This is what we saw 2 days ago when he went on to score his 50.
Just off the stumps there, full again. Aponzo getting some good movement through the air.
Aponzo's brilliant off his own bowling. Doesn't give you much to work with. He really feels like an extra fielder.
Ooh, flighted that one a little bit, but full on the stumps. Chopra fights it away for a single. Yeah, Aponzo, you mentioned his fielding. Greg Maddux-ish. We've got to do the baseball comparison every once in a while, but Greg Maddux was always ready for the ball. Always in a good position to be ready. And you'll see that with Aponzo too. When he finishes his release, he is in a great position.
That time past the outside edge. Again, Aponzo has read the wicket now. You can see he saw what Soeb Tai did and was starting to enact some turns. So from the same end, Aponzo said, "I can slow it down to the right-hander and let the grass rip it by."
It's exactly what I was wondering if we would see from Aponzo. Him pulling the length back a little bit, trying to get some turn.
And now he's shifted the field as well. Heath Richards has just been pushed slightly wider.
Back to the stumps, and he is bold. Mukhtar Ahmed's aggression comes back to bite him, and he is out. Amila Aponzo full right on the stumps. We mentioned he likes to attack the stumps, but after that last delivery that was a little wider and definitely turned, it was a great attack there from Aponzo.
Great setup, great plan, and he outfoxes his freedom teammate. Amila Aponzo, again, went slower, but kept going with the arm. Mukhtar Ahmed just wasn't ready for it, thought it was going to continue to leave him, and got outfoxed in that sweep shot. It's 60 for 2 now at the close of 8 as Ahmed departs for 13. And
we've got Kunwarjit Singh coming into the middle right now against with Agni Chopra to start the 9th over. Baltimore 60 for 2. You got to think this doesn't feel like enough runs so far for Baltimore.
Yeah, it just feels like they've left themselves a bit short in terms of, with their depth, they can really put themselves in a good spot. 60 for 2, you expect them to really be going closer to 9 and over. Rather, they're under 8 now. So, with that said, because of their depth, the 2 wickets won't bother you as much, and it's not a bad position to be in. We've seen teams able to accelerate in the back half of innings. The part that becomes worrisome is the amount of spinners that the Lightning have up their sleeve. We've seen Amila Aponzo bowl, you have Soeb Tai to come in and bowl, and then you would still have Akil Bosa, who can give you some pace, and if you needed your third spin option, quote unquote, Funny Samhadri is always available.
This is a tough bowling attack. This is tough to penetrate. Ty attacking the stumps.
And the other part about this, and Mark Dial still hasn't been shown with the ball, so he has the opportunity to come in as well. But it's the fact that the wicket seemingly is opening up and that there's more spin available.
We see the reverse sweep attempt there from Chopra. Ty slowed that one down a little bit. Chopra's timing was off. He just pounded it into the earth.
And even as it's spinning more, that doesn't mean there's cracks or the ball's not bouncing. There's still plenty of bounce in the wicket. It's spinning off the grass, so it's just such a different challenge. You can see Chopra there was under the ball. He didn't really expect it to bounce.
Attempted to cut away to extra cover there.
Still plenty of pace, and Chopra now has fallen under a run of ball. And he knows he can't afford to do that. Not with this batting lineup.
Reverse sweep attempt again. This time he penetrates the field, runs away for 4 runs, splits the fielders. Good stuff from Chopra, actively trying to find gaps, actively trying to read the tactics from Ty. And that's a boundary that definitely they'll want.
Gets into position much quicker this time, and that to me is the big difference. Before was almost waiting for it. This time he says, I don't really care if you read it. I'm going to commit to this shot, and you have to really give yourself a chance. And again, he was ready for the extra bit of bounce as well.
And a regular traditional sweep shot there is going to beat the fielder. Chopra starting to put his foot on the gas a little bit here, just in time if you're a Baltimore Royals fan.
That to me is more about Soeb Ty than Agni Chopra. He's gone too full and too straight. A massive overcorrection. And just asked to be hit. There's a fine leg fielder, but deep backward square was never going to be in position to affect that ball.
You could see with the movement of Chopra's feet early there, once again early, anticipation of the overcorrection, and he fully capitalized on it. That one turned quite a bit, surprising Chopra, and it ends on a dot ball, 8 from the over. Baltimore are 68 with a loss of 2 after 9. And here we are. Who do we have taking the ball here but Mark Dale? You said earlier we haven't seen him yet. Now, Mononk must be very pleased with this bowling attack. He has so many weapons that he can turn to. He's got the lefty on strike, Kunwarjit Singh. So go ahead, stick with the off spin.
Yeah, there's 2 left-handers out there, so it makes a lot of sense to go to Mark Dial and Soeb Ty at this stage and let them continue to operate whilst the 2 lefties are in. And with the ball turning the way it is, you're consistently expecting it to just trouble the outside edge of both batters.
Dale appeared to miss his line in that first delivery. More on the stumps here as Chopra gives himself some space. Just 1.
I think it's important for Baltimore to get to that 10 over mark here. I don't think it's important to overreact. There's still plenty of bats. Rishi Dhawan, Mohammad Mohsin, Jaskran Malhotra, Rishi Ramesh, Adil Bhati. The batting is there on this lineup, so you have the depth to just keep going.
Oh, that just beats the edge. Kunwarjeet tried to cover the line of the ball there, but the ball is turning. You can see right there a good example of how well it's turning at that length. That one's down the leg.
Great change up there. That one's the arm ball. That one's the one that keeps following Kunwarjeet Singh. So again, now you've tested both edges of Kunwarjeet, and it feels almost that he's now going to be forced to play a big stroke just out of the fact of I've been beaten to playing 2 defensive shots.
Dale much more on the stumps that time. At that same length that he's been flirting with the 2 prior balls. And Kunwarjeet gets off the hook. Chopra will finish the over. Just 3 so far from Dayal. And he takes a whack at it, and it is caught at long off. Looks like Posa. And Chopra's day is over, 32 from 28. He took a whack at it on the final ball of the first half of the innings. Baltimore end the 10 overs, 71 for 3. And that is not the way you want to end that 10th over.
You just felt something was going to happen there. Dayal had just gone past both edges of Kunwarjeet Singh, and Chopra had almost felt the pressure of the fact that he's the set man. And I just would have rathered him played a dot ball there. Just get out of the first half of this innings. Instead, he tries to go down the ground, outside half of the bat, and Akil Posa maybe didn't make the best ground. Fell down, but he knew it. He's got a hug from his teammates in the end because the 3rd wicket goes, and the Atlanta Lightning, I think you would say they have won the first 10 overs, seeing the back of Agni Chopra. We will get to that little break here, and we'll join you back in just a bit. But the Baltimore Orioles might just be reeling 71 for 3. The first 10 overs has brought you everything. Couple of opportunities off the bowling of Heath Richards. He was brilliant to start the day, wasn't he, Nate? And Emil Alfonso did what he does, but Sharad Lumba, it was painstaking the way he was out in the middle. He got a couple of boundaries away, but your man, Nate, your man in Funny Samhadri, after a full toss, well, he did the trick.
Well, we can see the ball moving in the air and off the wicket here, but there's the catch that Funny influences after giving up a couple of runs, and then he gets hit pretty hard right here.
Yeah, and again, this was a game that was ebbing and flowing, but the spin started to just break through. Mukhtar Ahmed, he wanted to take advantage, and Agni Chopra was able to cash in on at times with him. But then Emilio Ponzo just got into the game, and Mukhtar Ahmed couldn't help himself. Wanted the sweep, and the Freedom teammate, he took advantage. And again, Agni Chopra knew he had to get going. He has to be the one to keep striking. Took Sobtai for a couple of boundaries, but just before the end of the 10th over, he wanted a piece of Mark Dayal, and instead only found Akil Posa. And the Lightning, 3 wickets through the first 10, and they're just starting to claw into the depth of the Baltimore Royals.
Yeah, Chopra leaving way too soon. He was doing such a good job, I thought, of getting in the minds of the bowlers, of understanding what they were trying to do to him, and coming up with answers to the questions that the Lightning are asking.
Rishi Ramesh is the new man into the middle, so they've brought out a right-hander just to maybe take out a Mark Dayal from the attack, see if that changes Monik Patel's opinion on 2 off-spinners. But Kunwarjeet Singh will have to take a lot of the onus. He's the major leaguer. He was part of that champion 11. And still plenty of turn on offer. It'll be really interesting to see how this set plays now for the Baltimore Orioles. How do they find a way to advance? Beats the man in the field. You can see and hear the displeasure from Sobtai.
And we're seeing the ball doing so much off the wicket for the spinners. Baltimore probably at about pace right now to reach 150, 155. You have to think that they want to get to that 160 mark. That's going to be quite a challenge. But considering Baltimore's own spin bowling, we could have a very interesting chase. Yes,
we've mentioned Sarbjit Ladda on a couple of occasions. The fact that he's right behind Fani Samhadri for wickets all time in minor league cricket. He could have something really interesting to say with the amount of turn on offer. Ramesh gets off the mark today.
And it's not just the spin. We've seen some good stuff from the seamers too. We've seen good cut on the wicket. We've seen great swing. So you have to think Out of Body is going to enjoy bowling here today. Ooh,
little shout.
There's a shout.
A little shout. It's gone onto the body of Gunwarjit Singh. They're probably just missing over the top. But again, you can just see that Singh has not yet adapted to the pace of play in this wicket.
Getting bounce and turn on this wicket, not the easiest.
Again, just more shades of the unknowing from Gunwarjit. He's just not confident and doesn't trust what's happening in front of him. Again, we speak about the depth of Baltimore, but it's, yes, you have the depth, but if the depth doesn't seem to find confidence, then that depth doesn't really provide you anything. Close of over 11, 75 for 3. Sluggish, to say the least, for the Royals, Nate. They don't have to be going at 10s, but you can't be going at 3s and 4s.
Very important to rotate strike. This is why Nicholas Manohar's innings was so impressive yesterday to me.
Nicely worked from Gunwarjit Singh. First time we've seen a stroke of confidence, and he's done it to perfection.
Good stuff. There, Mark Dayal continues. And we saw a similar delivery on his first ball in his first over. Certainly a mistake.
And this is what you want to see, right? This is why Rishi Ramesh was sent up. They could have sent Rashid Evan. They could have sent Jaskar Malhotra. It could have been a Mohammad Mohsin. But they go to the young Rishi Ramesh because he's an accumulator. Yes, he has all the shots in the book, but at his very best, he is someone who can just consistently rotate strike.
Very confident cricketer, too. Doesn't ever seem to shy away from the moment. Seems very sure of his plan. It's very important in a young player. We see that with the guys like Sanjay Krishnamurthy, and you see where that's taken them. That kind of confidence in your plan and in yourself.
And it's a different level for Rishi Ramesh as well. He's only played a couple of minor league games. He's played a little bit down in Dallas, where he's originally from. And then last year was picked up late by the Royals. It almost felt like they picked him up really just out of necessity when they went down to the Super 8s, and the fact that he was just local. But he left a big enough impression to get picked up for the entirety of this year.
Done some great stuff, age group for USA, U19. And that puts the lefty back on strike for Dayal. 2 balls left in the over.
Looking to go up and over. And he's picked out the man nowhere near where he wanted that to go. And the Atlanta Lightning find wicket number 4.
Sub tie with a great catch there. Cushions it, slides along the grass. But yeah, that ball turned too much, didn't catch enough of the bat for that kind of a shot.
Unbelievable this. I'm not sure the Royals would have anticipated themselves being 80 for 4 as Kunrajit Singh walks away for just 9 with just 1 ball left in the 12th. Jaskun Malhotra walks into the middle, and it's a very different situation than when he came into just 48 hours ago. Remember, he came in when the platform was there. It was just looking to try to ascend the total up and get up to 170, maybe a 180. Right now, it's looking like you're trying to get your team just over the line through 20 overs.
Yeah, and they're going to need to put up a total here. The Atlanta batting is very good at changing strike. If they bat anything like they did yesterday, very good at just rotating strike, which is what you need to do on this wicket.
That would be sliding down leg, but retained strike into over 13, 81 for 4. I love this. I love the move to give Emilio Alfonso his last over here. Why do I love it? Well, pressure's on. Pressure's on Malhotra, pressure's on Ramesh to survive. Do it against our frontline spinner.
You see Alfonso so effortless and fluid with his action. I love watching how he finishes. Like you mentioned, he's such a good fielder. You know, he reminds me of, at the end of his action, reminds me of Dane Pete a little bit. They both kind of finish exactly the same way, ready to pounce.
Yeah, Alfonso almost replaced Dane Pete, if you will, on that Freedom roster when Pete went back to South Africa. They were looking for another spinner, and they looked in the direction of Emilio Alfonso, and rightfully so. Again, he's done so much work in minor league cricket, and he got a couple of games this major league, took a couple of wickets as well. Just very hard to crack that 11.
Very difficult. We have a lot of left arm orthodox bowlers in the country. And it's difficult if you're not like a 6, 7, 8 batter. It's difficult to crack that major league lineup.
And to Alfonso's credit, since coming to the U.S., his batting has improved tremendously. Now, for the Atlanta Lightning, I wouldn't be surprised to see him bat in a number 6 or number 7 position. He just has to continue to make those strides forward. This is not the stride forward the Royals needed, though. We talked about it. They need to go from anywhere 6 to 7 and over, and they're going to be stranded without a boundary here, somewhere between 2 and 4.
You can argue that it's the right move to play Amila out, which they have just done with a single there to end the over.
What a spell for Emilio Alfonso. 4 overs, 1 for 19. It's 84 for 4 at the close of the 13th. Ravindra Prasad with the ball. More left arm spin. And Ramesh could be gone. Oh, just survived.
Just survived there.
He took a little bit of a weird tumble back. You can see him looking at the ground because he wasn't clean. Now checking the spikes as well.
You're talking about left arm orthodox spinners. How many there are in the U.S.? Here's another one.
One bounce. This has got to be the over to take advantage of. This is the first over of Ravindra Prasad, and he's not one of the pure bowlers that you think about when you think about the Atlanta Lightning. Now, he does have the ability to bowl. There's no question about it. Very highly rated. The under-19 level, played with Barbados, has been a part of a CPL 11.
Stark contrast, big juxtaposition between the style of the action between Prasad and Amila.
Confident looking cut stroke there. Yeah, Prasad, he's known as the bat. That's his main role. He doesn't really traditionally provide much with the ball. So this is a real luxury to have for a Monank Patel. But
Maybe trying to force some aggression.
yeah. Problem so far, so the first 4 balls, you've only scored 3 runs. Knowing that Funny Samhadri still has 3 overs to go. Akil Posa looked great in his single over so far. Heath Richards has 2 more. I like this from Prasad though. He's rushing on to both batters. Close of over 14, just the one. Probably could have looked for a second, but they're just settled for 4 from the over, 88 for 4. So we wondered what the options are going to be. 5 overs, you reckon, are going to be 3 from Funny Samhadri, 2 from Heath Richards. But you have 1 over that could go in any direction. And Monank Patel's elected to go to his young seamer in Akil Posa. What do you make of the move, Nate?
I like it. I like it a lot. First of all, we are Akil Posa fans. But I like that the youngster's going to get put back in the middle here, test him out early in the season. 15th over is a great over to see what somebody has, you know. You can always come back with him if he does a great job.
Top ball. Ramesh is someone who likes to drive. He's so good on the front foot. So a new challenge to try to operate and, you know, does he look for boundaries off Posa, or is he looking just to facilitate to Malhotra?
Here you see the third man is fairly fine. Gives you an idea of the line that they might be after here.
And like we said, Posa just provides a couple of different challenges. He can go seam up, but the cutters are what he's become really known for. He does, and he's always really bowled those to perfection with great control.
I've been impressed with the bounce he's been able to get. Which just goes to show you there's something in this wicket for everybody.
Straight to backward point. Simple in the end, and Rishi Ramesh departs, and Posa's got his first.
Well, he struck it hard, but right into the hands of, looks like Mark Parchment. Take a look at this. Boom. Definitely wider than you think he would have wanted to go. But that good field.
Dejected Richie Ramesh has to depart for just 5, and the Royals in the 15th over, they're 88 for 5. No surprise, Mohammad Mohsin walks in, adding a left-hander, so maybe he's just trying to upset the rhythm of Akil Posa. But in minor league cricket, Mohammad Mohsin can really rake the ball around. Nate, to borrow a phrase from you, has a overall strike rate with the bat in minor league of 178 across 17 innings.
He hits the ball hard. He's aggressive. But he'll do what he needs to do as well. 88 for 5 in the 15th. This is not a great spot if you're Baltimore, but you still have some batting to come.
Changing the angle, Posa. Remember, early in his day, he went over the wicket to the left-handed Agni Chopra. Instead, he's now elected to come around the wicket. If I'm Mohammad Mohsin, I almost want to get myself to off stump. There's a touch of variable bounce you'd say. That one just maybe stayed a touch lower than Mohsin was ready for.
Attacking the stumps there. We saw him get bowled yesterday, Thursday night. Not used to saying that. We saw him get bowled on the first delivery. Posa, so far, no runs on the over.
We'll have just bowled 1 ball to Malhotra. That's just the first run Posa's given up in this over, by the way. And I'm not sure he's going to get a third over. That's the brilliant part about how Monik Patel uses options. He doesn't have to go back to Akil Posa. He can, has the overs to do it, but he could easily say, Heath, you're going to be the guy I'm going to at the end.
Yeah, you have to think the 16th is going to go to Fani, as it did on Thursday night. It's kind of the only reason why you would only have bowled him 1 over, but up until now.
Well done. Brilliantly done from Malhotra. A little deft touch finds 4 runs, but still a productive over for the Atlanta Lightning. Just 5 from it. It's 94 for 5.
Let's take a look at the replay here. You're talking about the cut. That one stayed kind of straight. Well guided by Malhotra, who just took what was given to him.
What? Well, here's a curveball for you, Nate. The lack of curve coming, not from Funny Samhadri. It'll be Heath Richards taking the 16th over.
Yeah, this is a bit of a surprise, and it brings up a question. We have 16 and 18 here probably from, or maybe 16 and 20 maybe here from Heath Richards. He only has 2 overs left.
Slower one to start. Yeah, it means that Posa will have to bowl another one. He will be given either the 20th, either the 17th, but he will have to bowl at least 1 more, Akil Posa.
Interestingly, this eliminates Fani's chance to get his full quota of 4 overs, which is unusual.
Yeah, and you're thinking as to maybe why. Maybe it is Malhotra's bludgeoning power alongside Mohsin. But to me, that almost feels ideal, doesn't it, to utilize him against 2 guys that are looking to score big.
It seems like a defensive tactic here. Fani, we know he'll be in the wickets if he's bowling. but he did give up 14 in his over.
And it could easily be that case of, look, there's 95 runs on the board here. We don't want to, at the search of wickets, give up 14 more runs and give them 100, 120 when they really haven't worked for it.
Kind of the same reason why sometimes you won't see a leggy in a low-scoring innings.
This could be out. Direct hit would have been. And they won't come back for the second either. So pressure completely on the Royals. When does Malhotra look for the big shot? Again, he typically is someone who likes to take his first 10 deliveries. He's taken 11 so far.
Good length there. Good length crowding Malhotra.
Yeah, and it just makes you wonder where your scoring option is off Heath Richards with the field currently set. It's spread out completely in the leg side. Inside the ring, you have your fine leg, your third, your backward point, and a cover fielder. And the lack of pace in the ball forces you to have to really pick a gap behind you as a batter.
See the fuller delivery there, which you're going to see with a field like this. As you mentioned, the places to score are behind you. You're not going to get a ball that helps that out.
And again, it's testing the ego of Malhotra as well. He knows he's got a bat through the innings almost, but he's so good straight down the ground. That's where his scoring regions are. Anywhere really from mid-wicket to long on, that's where he's most prominent with the bat. And they've taken that away. Excellent. Pitching outside leg, but excellent. What an over from Heath Richards. Just gives up 4 runs in over 16, 97 for 5. A lot of options and another one used. Funny Samhadri, his second over.
There's always something happening when Funny Samhadri is whipping the ball. We've seen some great stuff from him at this ground in particular. One of the most unique and fun players to watch in all of minor league cricket. But these two need to score.
And these two seemingly have said, we're going to take ones. My question then becomes, who are you going to attack? They didn't feel comfortable taking on Heath Richards, who has another over to go. Funny Samadhi seemingly will bowl another over after this. So it leaves you one over. And are you going to take on Akil Posa, the one over, if it is Akil Posa? $100 finally on the board. Nate, I'm going to ask you, what score do you think the Royals are comfortable with given the way they're playing?
Well, after 10, I thought that they would want to get to at least 150.
Mm-hmm.
It's not looking like that's really that possible right now, considering the effectiveness of these Atlanta bowlers. I think you kind of have to stop looking for mistakes from the bowlers and start making things happen.
Excellent. Excellent Yorker.
Oh, man, this is what Funny does best. That Yorker delivery, that dipping Yorker, so often getting under the bat.
run rate has really dropped. They're now going at 6 for the entirety of the innings. Again, the way they started, it was at 8, it was at 9, and just seemingly came down so quickly. Unbothered by the movement from Mohsen, Samadri sticks to his line. And these two haven't been running very quickly between the wickets. I think they've turned down a couple of opportunities for 2s. That one I'm not saying was there, but didn't even give themselves a chance to come back for a second.
Yeah, there was no start even to be ready for a fumble or anything like that. We've got 2 balls to go on the over for Fani.
Ooh. Pitching outside leg, but a great changeup, slower and then cut dramatically. This is the beauty of Fani Samadri, and a 17, 101 for 5.
Oh.
So Heath Richards will have the ball here. So he'll finish out his account for the day with the ball in hand. First signs of aggression. They'll come back for a second as well. Good running. Need as many 2s as they can get here. Heath Richards in his first 3 overs only went for 17 runs. You can't afford that to close his spell.
No, and maybe a little too short on that delivery, I think. But Mohsen failed to really fully capitalize on it, but they did run 2.
Again, every ball's got to be 2. Everything's got to be 2 at the very least. And in that case, with the last 18 deliveries, you get yourself up to 36 and get the score close to 140. You're in a position a lot of work to do. And they'll get 2 again. Picking their pockets better here, the Baltimore Royals.
Yeah, so we saw in the first delivery, Heath was a little bit too short. The second one, he was a little bit too wide. See how he adapts here to the left-hander. It's not a scoring rate you're used to seeing from Mohsen or Malhotra.
Excellent from Heath Richards. Watch the movement from Mohamed Mohsen the entirety of that delivery and gave him nothing to work with.
And he slowed that one down. Mohsen had enough time to get something out of it, but he definitely squelched his plan.
Yeah, just have someone walking in front of the side screen at the moment. Yeah, and he's just been getting word, hey, we're batting at this end of the ground. Gotta be careful. This feels like a Malhotra moment. This is what he's been known for, to hit big. Yeah, I'll take advantage of that. A real loosener from Heath. Finally misses one, puts one on the wrong length, and Malhotra cashes in.
Valuable boundary for Baltimore, who haven't found very many of them in the last 10 overs or so. But that's what you want to see from Malhotra. And I mentioned, at this point, it's not enough to just take advantage of mistakes. That was a mistake. We've had kind of 3 not great balls from Heath Richards here, and they've actually capitalized on them. Let's see what they do with the good balls.
That was the first boundary since the 15th over, so it had been quite some time, especially considering you're in the last 5 and you have 2 power hitters out in the middle.
We've only had 3 in the back half of this innings since the 10th over was finished.
Yeah, quite remarkable, isn't it? The infrequency of boundaries given this lineup. Excellent, excellent in the field. Saves what would have been at least one. Close of the 18th. Heath Richards goes wicketless, but just gives up 27. 111 for 5. Here we go. Funny Samhadri, his final over of the day. Straight up. Fielder settles. Takes it. Malhotra goes for just 17. And Samhadri adds another to his collection. That's number 90 on his career.
90. Fani always in the wickets. You saw that ball right on the stumps, dipping. His specialty. You'll see it here. See that ball dip. And Jaskaran tries to do something with it. I think it dipped a little bit too much for him and cut the wrong part of the bat.
Prodigious movement, and Malhotra can only move back to the dugout. It's 111 for 6. Rishi Dhawan out in the middle. Again, still power in this batting lineup, but 111 is just not enough. Not against this Lightning team that features the most in-form U.S. batter at the moment and some really great individuals around him.
You have to think Atlanta has the upper hand right now. Not enough runs on the board. Atlanta did so well rotating strike yesterday.
Beats everyone. That will help the Royals' cause. The Lightning will sit there and say the only runs they're scoring we're gifting to them.
Oof. Just gets through everybody. This is the risk you have with having the keeper up for a bowler like Fani. However, when you have the keeper up to Fani, it brings in so much reward.
And Chenchu's brilliant behind the stumps. He was just almost blinded by Rishi Dhawan, wasn't he? The prodigious movement from him, and just happened to find that slight gap. But your take 4 nonetheless, Baltimore. Over to you, Mohammad Mohsin. That career strike rate, let's see it.
See the full toss there from Fani, as he tends to be prone to do here and there. Now the lower full tosses from him you can't really say are bad deliveries, are terrible deliveries, considering how much his ball moves.
Excellent. Excellent. How is that missed? It's gone right over the top of those bales.
And that's only two balls left on the day for Fani, as we'll likely see Posa in the 20th, you would have to guess.
Mohsin wants it. He's now standing on off stump, but can't dig out the perfect Yorker. Fani Samhadri is putting on a display of death bowling.
Yeah, with the fielder there, you have to think that it's always tempting for Fani when he sees a batter a lefty covering the stumps, to go to that Yorker. It's got to always be tempting to him, and he did there.
Fielder misjudged it, but still holds on. A second wicket for Simhadri in the over, a third for the day, and that means just 2 runs off the bat from the 19th over.
That is tough if you are Baltimore. They needed so much more than that, but you can see the revs that he puts on the ball here. That ball just spinning off the bat face, skied up in the air.
So Abtai showed the dip. It was the dip that undid Rashid Dhawan as well. Close of the 19th over. It's 117 for 7. This is what we predicted. 20th over going to Akil Posa. He'll have to start against Mohammad Mohsin. Adil Bhatti joins him in the middle. So 2 individuals that can bat. There's no doubt about it that they can put some runs on. The one thing you're going to hope is that Posa from this end is where he bowled yesterday. Gave up 16 runs, struggled with his run-up. All of his success today has come from the Cedar Fork end of the ground. But now he's back at the Shiloh end.
Well, considering Posa's age, not the most experienced guy, you have to be thinking if you're Mohsin, you might get a couple.
We'll get that one away. Not convincingly, but safe in the end. Picks up 4.
Good start to the over for Baltimore. This is exactly what you need. You have to find a way to maximize what you're given, and you can see here, you're given bounce. And so Mohsin kind of got lucky there and helped it over top of the circle. You can see the Lightning players and fans encouraging Posa, saying don't worry about it, no big deal.
What a shot from Mohammad Mohsin. He picked the pace early and punishes it.
10 from the first 2. Takes Baltimore all the way to 127 for 7. We were thinking, well, could they even get to 130? But yeah, Mohsin did the most with that.
Sent it all the way to the bridge here at Church Street Park. And again, now for Akil Posa, what is your option? You tried your back of the length. It was just slightly too short and a touch of fortune for Mohsin. You've gone wide and slower, and Mohsin's clawed into it. Now, an agonizing long time to think, to evaluate. What does he come up with here? Three straight for Mohammad Mohsin, this time back-to-back 6s.
Well, he got every piece of that. You can see the effortless right into the wheelhouse. You can see Mohsin doing everything he can to keep that ball straight. Hit it with authority.
It's been 3 different deliveries for Posa for the same result. He's running out of options. Just the inside half of the bat. And they'll come back for a second. Mohsin retains strike, which is the key. Because these runs are so valuable, Nate. If the Royals find their way close to 140, you sit there thinking with Sarbjit Ladda and Mohsin, with a couple of the other spinners they have up their arsenal, this could be a real game.
Yeah, they have definitely a fighting chance. They have something there to defend if you're Baltimore, if you can get in the 140 range, which didn't seem possible last over.
Bosa's figured out where he wants to bowl. Mosin's going to be stuck here. Could be real trouble and won't get back. Knew they had to get two, but a brilliant throw from the outfield.
What a way to save yourself some runs there, getting the man that's in form out. Now a new batter's going to have to take the final ball of the innings.
Heath Richards has affected the game in so many different ways. Mosin goes for 30. That's 136 for 8. Aryan Batra on strike.
May as well run it out here.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they do get back for a second, but it is the batter you'd rather have on strike, isn't it? You'd rather see Batra. And that'll close out the innings as well. 2 runs to close. They move to 138. We'll get that score corrected as Batra was the one to strike those final 2. But the Lightning, an impressive display, but you feel as if the Royals might have just done themselves enough to keep themselves in the game.
Yeah, you have to question a couple of decisions here, but Agni Chopra got off to a great start for Baltimore, and then we had a lot of slowness until Mosin just turned it on right there in the final over to give Baltimore a fighting chance.
Yeah, no question about it. Baltimore, they'll be pleased with how that final over goes. It really changed the complexion of this game because it was dominated by the Lightning bowlers, and this confirmation of that domination. The miscalculation you talked about was Funny Samhadri. Just the 3 overs, that's the miscalculation. He took 3 wickets, gave up just the 20 runs, and that's after going for 14 in his first. They could have gone with him and then Heath to bowl the final 5 overs of the game. Instead, they tried the Akil Posa experiment, and it goes awry. Nate?
It's difficult because Posa earned himself that last over. But when you have Fani Samhadri not getting 4 overs in minor league cricket, I think that's always a mistake.
Well, we'll see if that mistake costs the Atlanta Lightning. They'll come out to bat. They need 139 to go 2-0 on the weekend, or the Royals have something magical up their sleeves. Stay tuned to find out.
like literally like Saturday really? Okay. Yeah. You had to deal with that. Yeah. I couldn't have been. It's okay. Like I'd rather deal with it than something because I used to keep my off. Okay. So like I remember it was I went back and was running with like running with and then what happened afterwards. I don't know if that was I was like kind of the other way. What's going on? Well, we didn't break up, but like we didn't technically break up. I was doing my thing. Like I knew, like honestly, it was me that wasn't happy with him. But it was like I knew that we were both just like maybe scared might not be the right word, but two were that started over the same. You know, like it was, we had run our course, we both thought with the game. Yeah, so like I remember having down about halfway through the hour, like looking for like the bed and figure it out. Like most people are supposed to know, go back. But also you probably care about it. Yeah, like and like because you care about it, you're like, I know. Yeah, like I can't put it. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to put either. You know, I think like at some point. Yeah, it's tough. Let's go. Yeah, my name is. You know the station
That's literally bread.
Yeah, while we do the toss. No, they ain't. I wish. I wish for a game. Oh, you want a block? Can you do a block? Or does it depend? It depends because sometimes it's like $22 each thing. I have it's the one you said. That's the last place I have we could do that. I'll tell you, that was pretty cool. What did you get? So I had to find what here. You got the beef. I'm gonna get it to the front side. That's $5 on the the front side? Nice. The side is good. Everything is good. Yeah, good choice. Oh, does Baba Ganesh do anything other than buffet? Baba Ganesh does like good. Okay. I mean the firehouse like that. Oh, sorry. Subway might not be a bad option. Subway doesn't have a good Subway. So,
Javi.
We bought these ones and where did that? This is first? You know, this one, right? No, they don't. Come on, dude. What about a Wegman? Oh, that's not even spelled. That's not even spelled. Oh, it's not even spelled. It doesn't even spell over here. Yeah. What about near mine? Everything's expensive, to be honest. Everything's like expensive. Especially in this area. What about the Sierra, huh? Yes, that's all we get. They call you and there's no gas shot. You want someone, he's gone and then nothing's gone. I'll take the... Yeah, I'll take the gas shot. I'll take the right piece of ball. One side piece. I want the right piece of the left piece of stuff. I'll get my spicy guy. And then I'll take the side of the stuff. But the right piece of the left one. I made it $70. I'll pay you back. I can buy some of the order food. There's a lot. I'm gonna wait till 12:01 so we can order it. Pull in the way. You're like, oh, that's not need 25
Welcome back to Church Street Park. Second innings of action underway, and it should be an absolute scorcher as the sun continues to rise overhead. And apex as the Lightning, they're looking to strike twice and claim a second win on the season. Or will it be the Royals who will find a way to try and defend 139? They got a huge lift from Mohamed Mohsen. And they'll look at that wicket knowing it's a tired wicket. 6 consecutive innings on the same surface. It already showed some signs of spin and some signs that cutters would be massively effective. Can they take advantage? They'll have to do it against 2 batters in tremendous form. Nicholas Manohar picked up 50 yesterday in his first minor league affair, the 24-year-old from Canada. Against him on the other side will be Manak Patel, the American captain, quick fire 40. And swing early for Adil Bhatti.
Yeah, Adil Bhatti's going to enjoy this wicket, extracting bounce and swing and turn. And he can take advantage of all of those things we've seen. He's very good at finding a difficult length everywhere he bowls.
He's got the ability to move it in both directions. That one, he just pushed too far outside, but that's why he's got the slip fielder in place. He's able to, again, test both edges of the bat for Manohar.
We saw yesterday Manohar and Manak Patel did an excellent job of just ticking the scorecard over.
Yeah, when you talked about Manohar's innings, he understood the situation and the role and the partnership in which he needed to play. When Manak Patel was out there, he was the aggressor. He was firing, scoring boundaries with ease. So Manohar said, I'll get one and get Manak on strike. Once Manak Patel departed, it was Manohar that took the onus of scoring the boundaries, and it's why he finished 65 off 44.
It was great to see that versatility from him.
Stuck at the striker's end. There'll be great intensity from the Royals. This could easily be the top 2 out of the Southern Division. Again, coming into the season, on paper, it felt like a 3-horse race, didn't it, Nate?
Yes, the Atlanta Fire being the other horse in the race, and we'll see them this weekend. But yeah, both of these squads look really solid. Both of them do a lot of good things well.
First runs off the bat for the Atlanta Lightning. Yeah, the Fire will be in action in just a couple of hours against the Orlando Galaxy. They're our second game of this triple header. An absolutely star-studded affair here at Church Street Park. What a day we have in store, Nate.
Tremendous day. You have to feel a little bit for Orlando having to play 3-3 against what we've already determined are the 3 favorites in the division. That's a tough way to start your season.
This will be a great matchup. Adil Bhatti and Monak Patel both played in the East in the previous editions of minor league cricket. Both first seasons in the South. And Monak Patel is in tremendous form, Nate. It feels like it's going to take something really special to dismiss him.
It will, and Adil Bhatti himself is very special. And he did play with this team when they were the Washington franchise a couple seasons ago. However, they weren't in the South at the time. They were in the East Division. So just to clarify, this is his first time playing for a South team.
Just over Mohammad Mohsin. 4 runs for Monak Patel.
Manonk very good at finding a way to maximize every ball. This was a good delivery from Bhatti. Manonk pokes it just over the fielder there.
First over, it comes to a lightning bit of an end. 6 for none.
We see Manohar lining up his guard. Batting at the Shiloh end. And who's got the ball over on the Cedar Fork end?
Yeah, Rishi Dhawan. Remember, same opening pair from a couple of nights ago. And he was quite brilliant in that affair, wasn't he? Showed real talent. Didn't really provide much with the wickets. He was none for 22, but that economy rate of 5.5, exceptional. That won't help the economy. Those are free runs, 5 wides.
We have ball finding committee. That one was easy to find. He just had to jog to it a little bit, but a little bit of help there from the passers-by.
It's so important for the Royals to get a good start from their seamers because this game feels like it's going to be won by the Royals through their 2 leggies.
If they're going to win the game, then yes, I think they're both going to have a good day.
And so if you're needing 8 and over when the leggies come in, that's where you can have the most success. What you don't want is this game to already be decided by the time you get to both Mohsin and Ludda.
Yeah, you want those batters under pressure by then. And yesterday we saw Atlanta get through the power play in a way that set them up to be pressure-free from that point on. And then it was just all about rotating strike against the spinners. And I am curious to see how and if Mohsin changes his kind of typical tactics. We know what his MO is. He likes to be quick through the air. But on this wicket today, will that be as beneficial as maybe changing things up?
Bit of an outside edge, but enough. All the way for 4 runs. That's the benefit of batting in the power play.
Manonk once again with a 4. It is tough to stop either of these batters.
It was just too full that time, Rishi Dhawan. Again, that movement on a length We saw Monica Patel edge one just short of first slip yesterday.
Yeah, Darwin's going to have to take the Heath Richards role and keep that economy low. You saw Richards without a wicket in the first innings, but very valuable overs. Dewan starting off already conceding 10 in his first 2 balls.
There it is. That's the length you're after. Monica Patel is very handsy, plays away from his body, and will expose gaps. But you have to be on the right length.
See 12 o'clock right now, just about. Oh,
Radar's on. Radar is on, and a stare for Rishi Dhawan. This is the battle. This is the type of bowler we know Rishi Dhawan to be.
that's an excellent delivery there. The last couple, beautiful from Dhawan.
This is Dhawan's first year with the Baltimore Royals. He's been in minor league cricket before, but he's a huge acquisition given the fact that you lose someone like a Zaid Alam, you lose a Jaskran Buttar, you're wondering where do your seamers come from, and Dhawan's a great one to have up the sleeve. Yes, indeed. Bat involved, but again, off this length, Monica Patel is going to have a very tough time finding runs.
It's all about right now, if you're Baltimore, just don't give them any mistakes. Don't give Atlanta Lightning anything to capitalize on, because these 2 batters are ready to do that.
Given wide.
Ooh, that was close.
It was swinging back towards the leg stump. And again, there's just a fiery battle going on between the two of Patel and Dhawan.
Interesting, you see Manonk maybe trying to cover that line that he was struggling with earlier, exposing his stumps behind him. Dhawan might have thought that was close enough to not be a wide. The umpire thought otherwise.
Don't want to test Monunk through his legs. He's so good flicking. He'll get the quick single away. Close of that second over. And this battle is one to watch with the 2 men on your screen. 18 for none after 2. So we said Monang Patel, his first couple games in the South. It actually isn't. He's back in the Southern Division. He used to play for a Florida team.
The Florida Beamers existed in the very first iteration of minor league cricket, and he was their captain. I remember him actually being here. But that team folded after 1 season. And now we have just the 2 Florida franchises, Orlando and Fort Lauderdale, who we'll see later.
This is the length you can really trouble Monang Patel with. Again, while he's in tremendous form, but he's going to be positive. So he's going to play a couple of strokes that just leave him a touch vulnerable.
And this is why, one of the reasons I really like Adobati. He saw, obviously they've got a plan here. Obviously they agree with you, Aman, because Bhatti is going straight to that area. He's very good at finding the length to bowl to a batter.
That's up. Fielders converge and taken. And the Lightning captain has to go. And it's that man again, Adil Bhatti.
tremendous start here. If you're Baltimore, that ball climbed up, didn't it? That ball climbed up maybe a little bit more, definitely a little bit more than Mononk thought. But we've seen Bhatti get some great bounce on this wicket, and he certainly likes to use that as a weapon.
Not the start from yesterday from Mononk Patel. Goes to just 9. It's 18 for 1. Very different start for the Lightning. They had a huge partnership to start off their day yesterday against the Orlando Galaxy that put them in prime position. But now, a return to the young Aranchenshu to come out with the bat in hand. Just the 10 runs yesterday, but he showed some great promise, Nate.
Yeah, and I think these two will just try to rotate strike for a while. We both of them seem to be able to move well between the wickets, between the stumps.
Extra bit of bounce for Adil Bhatti, seeing it yet again.
And this is exactly what Adil Bhatti does so well.
Yeah, no question. Again, this is why he was such a huge acquisition for them to bring back into the Baltimore area.
I would love to see him bowling on this wicket a lot this season. Type of bowler that a team like Morrisville would absolutely love to have.
Inside pad, I think maybe just sliding down, but Adil Bhatti, he has been absolutely brilliant in his second over.
That ball moved quite a bit. I think it's a good call there by the umpire. But let's take another look at that.
This is the wicket. Again, it just climbs on Mononk Patel. Again, it's the extra bit of bounce that he's able to enact. That's where he becomes so deadly. And then he can do that when he pitches it up, gets it to move in both directions. Enough bat on it from Genshu.
Just enough, but you see once again the effect of the bounce that Adil Bhatti extracts from the wicket. He can do a little bit of everything. He's got confidence in his ability to execute. He's got a great track record too, having played for USA. You have to think if Major League Cricket had come around 3-4 years sooner, Adil Bhatti would have been a draft pick for sure.
Yeah, he represented the USA under-19 team, and again, comes in with a real repertoire. Again, it's just his ability to do a couple of different things. Just 2 runs from over number 3, and the Royals, they feel themselves back in the game, 20 for 1. Over number 4 underway, and Nate, this game has really flipped, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. It's anyone's game right now. We can see how difficult it appears to be to bat here right now when you're doing the right things with the ball.
And dot balls are really starting to pile up now for the Atlanta Lightning. Manohar was not accustomed to being stuck on the crease like this yesterday.
No, he wasn't. He was very active. He rotated strike just about every single ball. He was batting with Mononk at the time, and Mononk was hot. And as you said yesterday, it was all about getting Mononk on strike. Manohar here is going to have to shoulder the weight of this innings for a while with the youngster Chenchu at the other end.
Just the one available. Absolutely right. He is going to have to. Again, you give the fact that this team and the Royals, they have so many options to go to, and they trust themselves and have so much confidence in what they're all about. You just feel as if the Lightning start to lose a couple of quick wickets, that's when the game really opens up for the Royals. Slip now in place for Aaron Chenchu.
And the pressure is there, as it wasn't there yesterday. It is there today.
Little bit of movement, just that little bit of extra movement. Real keys. Rishi Dhawan loves it. And Aaron Chenchu there on your screen. Well, he'd be feeling a bit of that pressure.
Yes, it is absolutely there today.
Neither batter has climbed into double digits. They both combined haven't even played more than 7 deliveries. They've combined played 12 deliveries. A lot of work left to do. What a delivery.
Dewan has been fantastic since his first couple of deliveries in his first over. You can see he's only conceded a total of 13. This was after a couple of mistakes early on.
And so why his captain has said, yeah, let's go get a slip in place. Because now for Chenchu, you just maybe are a little bit more hesitant to drive and push. And you just, again, with the length, it's just so difficult.
That was a good delivery.
Where do you do?
Giving him a wide.
Oh.
And giving him wide for that.
That's tough. Let's go have a second look.
I think that was inside the wide line.
Unable to see where that one ended up, but
that was tricky. I feel like Dewan did get quite down the wicket, maybe running right in view of the umpire there.
Up in the air. Simple in the end. Aaron Chenchu has to go. And the Baltimore Royals are up and in arms because they are all over the Atlanta Lightning.
What a great comeback here from Dewan. We mentioned first couple of balls in his first over, not too great. He dealt with that wide there. Emotionally could have rattled him a little bit because I don't think it really was a wide, but he came right back and gets the wicket the very next ball.
Aaron Chenchu has it apart for just the 2 runs, and the Lightning are reeling at 22 for 2. Mark Parchment makes his way into the middle, the most experienced Atlanta Lightning member. And he's got runs behind him, but now he's got to get runs on the score sheet.
Yeah, Parchment is a mainstay of this squad. It is you expect him to be somewhere at a 40 average every season. And scoring his runs quickly at a good clip.
He was able to spend some time in the middle yesterday, but a whole new challenge with Rishi Dhawan. 1 delivery left in this 4th over. excellently bowled. All over it at the moment are the Baltimore Royals. They look tremendous, and they're all ahead of the game. Close of over number 4, 22 for 2.
There we go.
Here we go indeed, Nate. Beautiful Church Street Park. Picturesque. Not a cloud in sight. Right now, the Royals, they have the Lightning where they want them. And Adil Bhatti is going to come back for a third. Nate, do you like the move, the aggressive move from Captain Sharad Lumba?
I do. I think we've seen how the two captains are different. Lumba likes to, it seems like once he has a guy on the hook, he doesn't want to let him off. And hence you saw the slip come into play. And this is, I think, why we're seeing 3 in a row from Adil Bhatti.
Turn down. Doesn't want it, Mark Parchment. It's so different, isn't it?
We remember, we're going to see 8 overs of top leg spin bowling here in the middle overs at some point. You definitely want to save Bhatti for one, at least one in the death. But I think that they smell blood.
They are swarming, and it just falls short. Adil Bhatti, he's on the ground because he knows how close that was to being a huge moment.
And this is just messing with Mohammad Mohsin's head right now. We saw the near catch that he had. Well, he almost had a chance at one point, and he was maybe about 3 or 4 yards inside that circle at that point in time. And so the thinking might be, hey, stay back at the edge of the circle. And now that one was definitely well shy.
Oh, how has that ended up where it has? That's gone all the way. It'll end up being 4 runs.
Great ball once again from Adil Bhatti. Doesn't deserve 4 runs on that, but that's the game of cricket.
And I think it just caught a bit of glove on the way through, hadn't it?
It looked like it caught glove.
And no signal for buys from the umpire. You'll take him if you're the Lightning. This total of 139 seemingly has gotten more challenging. And what did we say? We want your spinners in when the required run rate's nearly at 8. Well, it's nearly there. Nicely worked. Won't find the boundary, but at least a couple of runs to breathe a sigh of relief.
Bhatti with 2 deliveries left. He's conceded 14 so far in 2.4 with a wicket. Great production up front from the pace bowling of Baltimore.
And Bhatti's a big part of that as well. Bhatti, you have Rishi Dhawan, and then Aryan Batra, who you'll see at some point in today's affair play a big role with his cutters. Delicately run. Just going to find a single. 1 ball left in the over, and you'd have to say it's gone all the way of those Baltimore Royals.
Yeah, this is a great start for the Royals. Really, that 20th over of the first innings really jolted them, I think, into life. Revived the team. They went from looking like they were going to have to defend maybe 120 to defending 138.
Well stopped. Incredible athleticism from Agni Chopra. Brilliant work from him in the field. Closes the over off. That is the end of 5. And at the end of 5, the score reads 30 for 2.
Little bit of a conference right now. meeting of the minds here in the middle. How to attack this final over of the power play if you're Baltimore.
Is Rishi Dhawan begging for a third? Is he saying, I've got it, I know it, I know I can take a wicket here? And Sharad Lumba, is he thinking, do I want to go to one of my spinners? He wants a spinner, that's for sure. It's himself.
Calling his own number. Maybe he's just tired of wearing the hat and wants to take a break for a bit.
Well, he did take a wicket against a left-hander 2 days ago. And maybe seeing that, okay, Manohar likes to sweep, likes to get innovative. Let me just see if I can get a couple of deliveries at him and take his number.
You will have to get through Parchment, get Parchment off strike to have a bite at Manohar. Talked about all the options that the Lightning have with the ball. Baltimore has no shortage themselves. With even Jasker and Malhotra, the wicketkeeper, being able to roll his arm over if they need him to. And a good start here for Lumba. Ooh, that one moved away and was just helped. No slip in place, so that ran away for 4 runs to the third man area. Well, we said earlier I said earlier that I think that Lumba likes to keep people on the hook. Kind of let Parchment off the hook there.
Yeah, just a bit too wide to start the day off. I think he's trying to get out of the hitting arc of Parchment. But just don't want to give him those easy singles and those easy opportunities for boundaries. Again, he's so good with width, and as good as he is on his legs, any batter worth his salt is going to take advantage of any bit of width that you offer him.
You see the turn that Lumba's getting here. Away from the batter. Watch. It's the imparted by that swing, by that drift that he's getting with his arm ball.
I'm not sure we'll be able to get to see it with this replay here, but yeah, absolutely right. There's a lot of movement in store.
Whoa, what a delivery there from Lumba. Just misses the bat. A Parchment. My goodness, there's danger in every delivery right now.
He looks unbelievable right now, Lumba. Again, Parchment would be anticipating everything to come back into him, but so far, everything has left him. And when you keep the stumps in play, that's where Lumba can be real dangerous.
That's right, he is. The ball is pitching near the stumps and cutting away. Too much width there, looked like. And it runs away for 4 pretty easily. Parchment made the most out of that. And he will end on 4. And so what was looking like a terrific over from Lumba ends actually with 8 runs. So you have to be happy with that if you're Baltimore. Narrowly missing out on possibly lightly edging that into the keeper's gloves on the ball before. And then finishing with 4.
Close of over number 6 in the power play. It's 38 for 2.
And we will see Mosen here to start the 7th. The middle overs begin with Mosen with the ball. And we said he likes to zip it through a little bit. Wicket's working very well when you slow it down today.
It's a change of ends for him as well. I'm wondering if that's part of the calculus from Sharad Lumba. We saw Sarbjit Ladabul from this end of the ground typically all the time he's come to Church Street Park. So we'll see if Mosen finds more success here. And like you said, what speed is he bowling at? Big shout.
Big shout for the appeal of LBW, and it's given after some time. Mosen will take a breath after all that shouting, but well deserved there. you said it, Amon. How fast is he going to deliver the ball? He flights it up, very, very full. Looks like I might even clip the batter's toes. But that looked dead on. And Manohar will depart 10 off of 13, unable to do what he did yesterday. Mosen striking from this end, from the Shiloh end, with his very first ball.
Manohar has to go for 10. It's 38 for 3.
Mark Dale comes in to the middle. Very experienced cricketer. But Mosen striking with his first ball from Sarvjit Lada's favorite end. Now, what does this mean for Lada? We're going to see Lada from the other side. I don't think I've ever seen him bowl from the other end.
I think he will bowl from the other end. Again, you want to give him his opportunity to get his quota. You know, I don't think you want to sit there and say, oh, don't want Sarvjit Lada to bowl his 4 overs. And maybe it's, 4 for Mosen, and then you get Sharad Lumba to bowl from the other end, and then you go into Sarvjit Lada. But whatever the case is, I think you still have to get 4 out of Sarvjit Lada.
Another shout. Is it 2 and 2? No, the umpire shakes his head no. Maybe that might have pitched a little bit outside of leg stump, but it looked like it was right on line to me.
I thought from first look that it pitched outside leg. I think that's the only thing that's kept it, because it was the googly that just kept rushing on to Dial.
So close, so close. Mosen is spinning a web right now.
You can hear the conversation from Rahul Patwardhan and Mohammad Mosen, and he did say pitched outside leg, and Mosen shook his head. He didn't seem to be too frustrated with that rationale. So now he's changed the angle. He's going to come around.
Who once again attacking the stumps. Mosen, well defended on the front foot from Dayal. Now you've got the batter defending on the front foot against the spinner on a wicket that is turning. Didn't catch all of it, but safely to the offside for a single. He'll be happy to concede strike right now, considering Mosen's form. Parchment on strike.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see Parchment's approach to taking on Mohammad Mosen. We saw the 2 lefties already wanting to sweep and try to paddle. But Parchment's much more of a player that plays in the V.
And we continue to see some flight from Mosen. That fuller flighted delivery seems to be quite good at it. And that one wide. It was pretty much wide right out of the hand, but the turn helped it continue. 1 ball left. And the over for Mosen. And he bats it right back past him. Mosen misses the stumps for 1, and Mosen will finish the over. 3 runs, 1 wicket. Atlanta are now 41 for 3 after 7. And in a tough position right now. And just as Amon speculated they might do, Lumba stays on from the Cedar Fork end. We were wondering if we would see Lada from that end. Right now we won't. Plenty of overs left in the innings. Spin's doing a lot. We're probably going to see 4 from each of these guys.
think the big thing here is that you have that lefty still out in the middle, and so Lumbus just wants to have that option to keep taking the ball away, and he's shown the ability to take away from the right-hander as well.
What a ball! What a ball! And that misses. And the keeper misses that one, but incredible delivery.
Yeah, given his buys, and again, it's the movement in the air out of the hand. You can see the wrist position has been quite brilliant from Sharad Lumba, but this is where he's going to want to be operating. He thinks he can take advantage of Mark Dayal.
Ramon, when you see that much movement in the air on this wicket today, that's going to be a lot of turn off the wicket too when it finally lands. We've seen that both ways with the arm ball, with the off break ball. Makes the off spinner with the arm ball so dangerous, both the off spinner and the left arm orthodox. So dangerous because it's so tough to pick those variations.
And just a little shift in the field there, seeing Rishi Dhawan move himself into a slip position. I think is a good aggressive move.
Oof. He went full right at the legs there and gets past everyone, running away for, looks like they might try for 3. No, they're going to stick with 2. Oh, the throw at the other end, as it looks like Parchment went maybe a little bit too aggressive. Almost got run out.
Yeah, everyone with a bit of a sigh of relief, really. So much happened on that occurrence. I'm not sure there was a chance to get back again.
Dale had no interest in 3. Parchment was trying to.
Well, the throw was already
everything
out when he went to go get the third one, and
yeah,
I think that's probably the right call from Dayal to sit there and say, "Look,
I don't think anyone here thought there were 3 in that except Parchment."
And again, I think for Dayal, you're sitting there thinking, "Okay, we can't afford a wicket. A run is not worth a wicket at this stage in the game."
Good delivery. You see him attacking the top of the stumps here. But he's able to attack both edges of the bat. And he's getting that extra help from the wicket today, too. Lumba is probably really enjoying bowling right now.
He's shown great control so far. He's got fielders in the deep that haven't really been needed as of yet. And he's shuffling them around. A fine leg inside the ring. Deep backward square, deep into wicket.
That cut stopped there. A backward point, nice stop.
Close of over number 8, 44 for 3.
And Mosen stays on from the Shiloh end. And why not? What a ball. He's bowled him. Parchment has to leave. Mosen has been turning the ball all over the place here. He's a little bit slower than he normally bowls today, but look at that drift and that turn.
The googly, it's so deceptive and such a useful tool to have up your arsenal, and Mohamed Mosen's got one of the better ones going across the country and dismisses the dangerous Mark Parchment. That's the end for him, and the 9th over goes the way the Royals needed it. 44 for 4.
Good. Why is Shankar bhai? Yeah, you shouldn't walk alone. Shankar bhai should be there.
Shoaib Tai making his way into the middle now. for Atlanta Lightning, who they've got a hole to dig themselves out of for sure.
And Sobtai is someone who can dig that hole. If you remember, he opened the batting for the Atlanta Lightning last season, so him coming in at number 6 is a little bit of a surprise. And again, he didn't have the utmost success for the Lightning last season, but given that he was playing on tough surfaces,
sure,
you reckon that he's a better bat than what he'd be given credit for at the moment.
Yeah, we've got 44 for 4. Haven't had a single over yet of Lada. This is trouble here. And nice little ramp attempt there. Little ramp sweep for 2 as Ty gets creative.
Yeah, he's very innovative, and you know that he's going to go about his game incredibly confident in the shots that he possesses, and again, doesn't really wait for an invitation to play them. So just because the situation might demand him to be slightly more stable, he's still going to go after this the same way he would if the score read 100 for none.
We've all got our personalities that dictate what we do. And that's just one there.
For Mohamed Mohsen, again, the adjustment for him has been brilliant today. He recognized that 48 hours ago he was bowling too quick, that he was ripping it through. Now you could see him intentionally starting to slow things down, letting the ball really hang in the air and utilize this surface. And it's why there's a slip involved and why he's continuing on from this end. And maybe this is the leg spinning into the ground.
And that's a quick single there. Yeah, maybe this is the leg spin. Actually, now that you mention it, Aman, how much great leg spin have we seen from this end? We've seen Adam Khan, who likes to bowl from this end. Lada, always bowling from this end. And now Mohsen is enjoying the fruits of the Shiloh end, too.
Only one time I can really recall a leggy getting pumped from this end of the ground. There's 2 times that come straight to mind. One was in Major League Cricket. It was Heinrich Klaassen took on Rashid Khan, hit him for 3 consecutive sixes. The other would have been back in season 1. It was when Adi Gupta was taken to the cleaners by Rovman Powell from this end of the ground as well.
I have one more that I'll mention in just a second. Unless there's a catch, and there is.
So good, Mohamed Mohsen. He just creates so many questions. And Mukhtar Ahmed, he's very adamant. This is out. He's shown it twice. Sohaib Tai still hasn't walked, and he's waiting for official confirmation from the umpires. But Mukhtar Ahmed's got some of the safest hands in all of the US of A.
We've seen some great catches from Mukhtar in Major League, in Minor League. He's going to come through. Once you see the ball go to him, you know he's going to capture it. He might have trapped it, though. Let's take a look.
We're waiting to see it from Sohaib Tai. He's not walking. I think the umpires have said no. And they've said that this isn't going to be out. And he's hung in there. Love to get you a second look at this when we can. Here it is. Again, he had to get forward quite a bit. And it was dipping on him dramatically. It's tough to tell. I think his hands got there early enough. I think it's a question of, did he control it? Did he use the ground at all?
It looked like a good catch to me. It's tough to tell.
Umpires,
unless we go frame by frame, but it looked pretty clean.
Umpires say no, and Sohaib Tai, he'll stay out there in the middle.
Well, we've got ourselves a controversy here.
Won't mind it though. The Baltimore Royals is 49 for 4 here in the 9th, and they still haven't used their trump card in Sarbjit Singh Ladda.
And Lumba stays on, and why not? Only 8 overs conceded. You see, Aman, how much more dangerous it is on this wicket when you attack the stumps. If you give any type of width, you can see the batter's almost breathing a sigh of relief. Like right there, you can see the batters relax and play their natural game when you're pitching it off the stumps.
that required run rate continuously climbs here, and we're getting it close to 9. And what you're thinking is that delivery at some point's got to at least result in 2, rather than it be 1. It's short, it's wide.
Right.
It's the one time you're able to get it off the square. And again, it's going back to the first innings. You know things are going to get more difficult to bat in because the bowlers to come. Sarbjit Singh Ladda's got 4 overs left. Mohammad Hossain's got 2 overs left. There's 6 of your final 10 right there.
Possibly a 4th from Lumba as well. So and he's been bowling quite well. Yeah, you have a lot to deal with right now if you're Atlanta. This is why that Manong Patel wicket was so enormous, because he is incredibly good at maximizing the runs for any loose delivery.
And so you've already basically decided where 7 overs could theoretically come from for the Royals. Then you have the 1 over of Adil Bhatti, the 2 from Rashid Dhawan, and there's your 10. You never have to go back to Aryan Butler. You never have to look in another direction.
Driven straight down the ground, but and the fielder fumbles it, and that went from a jogging single to 4 runs. Agni Chopra, that's not the Agni Chopra we know, and he'll be frustrated with himself on that effort.
That's just one way to give momentum back to the Lightning. You can go into this 10 over mark right on 54 runs on the board now because of that, and maybe that's just the first kickstart, the first boundary we've seen in quite some time.
And that ends the over there. 54 for 4 after 10. We're halfway through. We're going to take a little bit of a break here, and we will resume for the final quarter of the game.
Because I know you're thinking. Because you're fucking thinking, right? Oh, what is that about? 10 more.
Well, we were wondering when we were going to see it, and we'll see it at the conclusion of the break. Sarbjit Singh Ladda, how often do we see wickets follow him and follow breaks in play? He'll take over from Mohammad Mohsin at the Shiloh end, Nate. This feels like a chance to put the nail in the coffin.
It does. And Ladda coming in after the 10th over when you're 54 for 4. This is not a good place to be if you're Atlanta. Not when he's bowling from his favorite end, probably maybe his favorite ground in the league. There we go. And they'll start off in an off strike.
Yeah, we'll see what lengths he looks to go to. Mosen was very much full of a length. Ludda, you would reckon, would be similar, just because he isn't someone who gets an extreme amount of bounce. It's a spin, so you want your batters pressing forward. There, that's the length. That's the exact length. But this is also the thing that's plagued the Royals. We saw the misfield that leads to 4. This time a misfield leads for an extra single. A bit of laziness, or maybe a bit of just carelessness in the field.
Yeah, we've seen them give a couple of gifts to Atlanta. Atlanta's in such a big hole that they'll need a lot of gifts. And here comes Lotta running up with his little jump.
Turn. Serious turn.
We expected this. We expected this. A flighted delivery. Pitched just short enough to impart the most turn. As far as the batsman is concerned, the most troubling turn. This is what Lotta does best.
Fielder clears him. Clears him. There was a mid-wicket in place, but Soeb Tai, he's placed it to perfection. 4 runs.
Tai came across, just heaved it. Excellent connection there. And that's one way to do it. Now, we saw yesterday when batters started to get aggressive and started to have a little bit of success against Lotta, he answered pretty quickly. Let's see how disciplined Soeb Tai is here to not do something too predictable for Lotta.
Yeah, again, he's just got to find his radar on his length. Right now, that length is just too easy to get it away and pick for Soeb Tai. But the sweep is probably the reason why it's come to that.
Yeah, that's true. One more delivery here from Lotta. You know, Aman, we got all these buttons in front of us here on this Black Magic deck. None of them are the Mario jump sound effect. We need to fix that for Lotta. We need to fix it.
You know, maybe add that to the stump mic package that we get.
We'll be innovative. We're going to be so innovative, Aman. No one else will be doing that.
No one else is referencing the things we're referencing, that's for sure. Worked away for 1. Runs starting to come. You pick up 8 off of Sarjeet Ludda's first. 11 gone, 62 for 4.
So there we go. What do you think, Aman? We got to get sound effects in here. We talked a lot about country music yesterday. Today, every time Lotta bowls, I'm talking about Mario.
I feel like anytime the Baltimore Royals are playing, Nate, you got something on your mind, whether it's banana pudding, whether it's Mario.
You know what? It's because they take so much time in between their deliveries and in between overs that you got to come up with some crazy stuff.
Change of ends for Mohamed Mohsen. So he's happy to go back to where he was 48 hours ago. And speak about time, there's another mini conference happening off screen at the moment with Sharad Lumba and 2 of his fielders. A lot of opinions being thrown around.
This is a team that has a lot of opinions. We've seen it in the past. Maybe not as many as they used to, but I remember there was a time they were always having opinions with each other.
Well, to be fair, everyone on this team has probably captained the team at some point. It feels like Jaskar Malhotra, a former captain, Mohamed Mohsen, captain. I think he might have captained the team actually for a bit with Sharad Lumba out. Sharad Lumba obviously was actually filling in for Jaskar Malhotra when he got injured.
Yep.
There was plenty of different guys, and again, all vastly experienced. What a shot. What a shot. And he's got it out of the screws. I think that's gone all the way for 6 runs.
A nice little fist bump there. Great shot. That was fun to watch. And we'll see the replay of this again. You can see him get his position early, like you said before. Reverse sweep for 6. Now let's see how Mosen answers. Normally he's too quick to try something like that.
Was in the air for a moment, but eludes Mosen. Yeah, again, like you mentioned, his pace, he's brought it down to collect some spin, so you have the opportunity to now start to play a little bit more boldly against Mohamed Mosen.
Yeah, you can move yourself into position and get creative when there's that much flight on the delivery, and then Mosen answers with a fuller ball right on the stumps. Say, hey, if you're going to do that, you're going to miss, you're going to LB.
Yeah, quicker on that occasion from Mohamed Mosen. I'd love to see him just continuously slip in the quicker one. It doesn't have to be the stock delivery here in minor league, but keep that in his repertoire.
He goes really wide with that one as Ty moves his feet over, and it's the length, the very full Yorker length helped him keep that to just 1.
Yeah, it's a touch of fortune for sure. You can see he's got the variation where he almost bowls it as the off spinner. It comes really the undercutter where hand gets under the ball and it just skies up for a second. A drag down, but he's picked out the man, and he's going to feel so disappointed with himself, Mark Dayal. But Mohamed Mosen's got his 3rd.
3 for Mosen, and you can see got good dip on that ball, Mosen did. And it kind of hurried him a little bit. He just didn't catch enough of it. Hit it a little too flat, maybe. Mosen in the wickets once again. 16 for 3 with 1 ball left in his 3rd over. 70 for 5 are Atlanta in deep, deep trouble.
Welcome back to Church Street Park. Keith Richards. First ball he ever played in minor league cricket was right here. It was at this end of the ground. It was off a seamer to close the innings out, and he showed off how adventurous and how bold he is. Plays a switch hit over backward point for 6. So plenty of batting caliber. We've seen him do it in Major League a season ago. And now he's got an opportunity to do it against Mohamed Mosen and the Baltimore Royals.
Yeah, we love to see Heath playing here at Church Street Park. You know, he fills a role that every international side seems to always lack in depth, and that is the fast bowling all-rounder. Right now he'll be trying to fend off this Mosen spin, and he did so on the final ball.
Close of 12, 70 for 5. Ludda to bowl over 13.
Ooh.
Turn and bounce, and hello, Sarbjeet Ludda.
Turn and bounce. That bounce was better than Lada's hair, which is saying a lot. He's got bouncy hair. Yeah.
What helps when he's got the hops that he does as well. He's got some bounce in the feet. Just worked around the corner, but excellently done by Agni Chopra. He's been everywhere in the field, hasn't he?
Chopra, minus that one mistake that he made. Yes, you got to be happy with his fielding the last couple of games. He's really shown a lot. I'm stoked to see Agni Chopra playing minor league cricket. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, man from Detroit who's played a lot of cricket in India. A lot of his domestic and cricket growing up happened there, and he's got a first-class average over there of 94. Love to have that kind of talent. This is where Heath Richards struggled in Major League Cricket. I think back to the game they played against the San Francisco Unicorns at New York, where Hassan Khan inevitably gave up the runs to Trent Bolt, but he got through Heath Richards with a delivery just like that.
Whoa.
Testing this patience. This is where Ludda can be so dangerous against a big hitting player.
And I got to say, one thing when you're seeing a lot of turn, you like to go to the back foot as much as you can to buy yourself time. When you're the height of a guy like Heath Richards, you don't really have that option as much as you do when you're shorter.
Turns it into the offside for 1. Just 2 runs from over 13 with a ball to go. And it almost feels like Ludda is toying with you because the required run rate is getting up to 10. This is the situation that he loves and he wants to be in.
Yeah, the higher that run rate is, the better chance the higher the run rate required is, the better chance he has of taking some wickets.
Straight up and simple in the end. You knew it was only a matter of time, and Ludda picks up his first on the day to close over 13, 72 for 6.
What a hack there. But the ball is turning so well that even on a full delivery like that, it turned enough to catch the top edge and just safely float into the hands of the slip fielder. And that is the challenge here. When you get the dip that you get from Lada and the turn, any type of front foot shot is risky when you're reaching like that. And that is the end of the 13th over. Atlanta is 72 for 6. The hole keeps getting deeper, and Ravi comes in for Atlanta at number 8. Ravindra Prasad, a free agent signing for Atlanta Lightning this season. Let's see how he'll do. There's another Ravi involved who's not in the Royals team today, Ravinder Singh. So we'll have to have just one Ravi today. But Mosen takes the ball for the 14th over from the Cedar Fork end. Oh, it looks like Richards has played it onto his own stumps there. And Mosen strikes again. 4 wickets right now for Mosen. He still has 5 balls to go. Can he get a 5er? This was a tremendous outing from Mosen, taking wickets from both sides. And there it is. The ball just getting on the bottom edge of Heath Richards' bat. What a challenge it was today for anybody taking on this spin attack. Richards only gets 1 from 5. Couldn't really get himself in. Tough situation. Everybody's falling all around, but now we'll have 2 batters in the middle who have yet to face a ball against a red-hot Mohammad Mohsin, who seems to have figured out both ends of Church Street Park now. Amila Aponzo comes in. We'll get a chance to see Amila at number 9 today. We've mentioned his improvements in his batting. His clean hitting, I believe, has improved the most. If you watch him practice, one of the top spinners in the country comes in now. Try to rescue the innings for Atlanta Lightning. They still Needs 67 off of just shy of 7 overs. And Mohamed Mohsen is standing in the way of that right now. And Amila thumps it dead straight. And there will be a ball searching committee for that one. 6 on the first ball from Amila Aponzo. He is proving Amon's praise to be worthy. And he just absolutely pummels this one. My goodness, that might be a lost ball. We will see. That is the end where the most balls get lost. He hit that one. He hit that one 1,000 miles from nowhere, Amon.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've talked about how Amila Aponzo has really improved with the bat in hand and how he's really come into his own. And it's part of his consistent evolution through the American cricket scene. He's looking to become a true bat, and it would bring him into a Major League 11. That's, I think, the one thing that's kept him off of it. When you think about our left-arm spinners that are in a Major League 11 consistently, you've got to be tremendous in another aspect. Hassan Khan, maybe the best 3-asset cricketer we have. Nash Kinjige, he's brilliant in the field, and with the bat can provide you a bit. So for Amila Aponzo, he's got to be able to improve with the bat in hand.
Yeah, you could talk about Kareem Agor as well.
Absolutely.
Talk about Ali Sheikh. And you know, these guys, they have to constantly evolve. Harmeet Singh, oh my goodness, yeah. How did we not mention him? Oof. That's some troubling bounce there.
He's
a good answer from Mohsen.
So good, Mohamed Mohsen, at just consistently changing it up on a batter. You might think you have him figured out by hitting a boundary, but he's got so many tools up his sleeve. Well worked.
Very well batted there. Cut late for 2. Gave himself some space on that. Bought himself time too. When you open up against the spinners, getting a leggy who's getting bounce and turn, that much buys you time. We saw a lot of that from we've seen a lot of that from Manak Patel. Whoa!
Goes straight through him. Takes off the off pole. And Amila Aponzo, while he might have improved with the bats, it won't be enough. And that's a fifer for Mohamed Mohsen.
What a day for Mohamed Mohsen from both ends now. Watch this. Just comes back just enough to take that top stump. Take the top of the off stump. Tremendous.
Take a bow, Mohamed Mohsen. He's still got 1 ball to go, but he's taken 2 in the over, 5 on the day, and Aponzo goes for just 8. It's 80 for 8.
Aponzo leaves 8 off of 4, so he scored in a hurry, but he left in a hurry too.
Here for a good time, not a long time, like
That's
I said
exactly
yesterday.
right.
Well, here it is. The Atlanta Lightning are trying not to drop a second game. They're trying not to drop this game in a hurry. You don't want to hurt that net run rate that they worked so hard to accumulate yesterday. As
looks like Akil
Bosa
yeah.
will walk into the middle. And again, not known for what he does with the bat, but that's an evolution for every young seam bowler in the States. That's the role that we just don't have enough of. But here we go, final delivery from Mohsen. And fends out the googly. What a spell, what a day for Mohamed Mohsen. 5 for 24, and he's brewing on a man of the match performance. 80 for 8 after 14.
Something about Baltimore Royals bowlers and fifers and Church Street Park. There is something about it. Mohsen joins the club along with Lada, and speaking of Lada, we're about to see him. So the nightmare is not over.
Yeah, Ryan Prasad, again, he's more known for what he does with the bat historically. You're just curious to know, do the Lightning just want to play out the last 6 overs now? Is it, we only have 2 wickets in hand, let's just get out of this game, let's keep pushing. Now Prasad wants it. Prasad wants to take advantage of that. That's clear sign of intent.
He got a little bit of width on the delivery. Tried to do something with it. See Posa doing some exercises at the non-striker end.
It's just so it's a cat and a ball of yarn right now for Ludda. Wherever he puts it, he just is toying with you. You're never really in the game.
Those fuller flighted wider deliveries are so dangerous.
That one has just spun too much for Sarbjeet Ludda. That one needs to put closer to the stumps. Again, it's that laser pointer in the cat. He thinks he's all over it, but then it just gets out of your grasp.
His 6-wicket game here at Church Street Park a couple years back, he could have taken 8 or 9, it felt like, if the ball had turned a little less. I remember that day very well.
It could be time for the googly here for Sarbjeet Ludda to get through a sweeping Ryan Prasad.
He certainly set it up with his line and length.
Keeps it in a conventional state, but Prasad now has played 4 dots, but he's keeping him out. You'd have to give him credit for that.
Yes, he's keeping him out by keeping it off of his bat.
Whatever works, isn't it? Gone!
Oh.
No. Stays down. Finger stays down. It looked so good. Love to get another look at this. We knew the googly was going to come out. I'm surprised it hasn't gone on to hit the stumps. Has it spun too much, Nate?
I am not sure. That it looked like it was pretty plumb to me. The only thing is maybe it caught a feather of the bat or something.
Good to see you, man.
And wow.
A maiden in the 15th. Ludda feels as if it should have been a wicket maiden. And I think that replay maybe would ask that question. 80 for 8. Pace back. Pace back in the form of Rishi Dhawan.
Well, Amon, some of our favorite cricketers of all time are entering the ground, getting ready to play their upcoming games. We just saw Steven Taylor walk past. I'll tell you what, I still get goosebumps every time I see him.
Something about Steven Taylor in Church Street Park. Nicely driven, Akil. It looks stylish.
He does look stylish, Akil. Now we were talking about how a lot of the left arm orthodox spinners have to improve their batting to have a good chance to get places in this country. Fast bowlers do too. I've heard a lot about Ayanda Sai improving his batting.
Mm-hmm. Seen Arya Garg really work on it up there in the east as a promising young man, Rushil Agarkar.
That's right. And out there in East Bay, the left arm
Abhishek
seamer.
Paradkar, 40 runs yesterday to his name.
We know Abhishek can really mash the ball.
And the reason it becomes so vital, and because you're just thinking about selection spots, and you think about the modern white ball game, which is what the U.S. is going to play, ODIs and T20s, you don't want your tail to be beyond 2 guys. So if you can only afford 2 guys who might not provide with the bat, well, Saurabh Netravalkar is one of them at this stage, and it doesn't seem like he's going to be stopping anytime soon.
Right.
And so then you got 1 spot. But if you can bat, now you're opening up other areas to where you become more valuable.
It's funny you said you got 1 spot and didn't name somebody.
Well, Ali Khan is the name, but you don't, I think Ali would feel a little bit upset that I'm saying that he can't bat because he can rake it around as well.
That's right. That's exactly what I was getting at there, Amon, that you didn't say Ali Khan. because I'll tell you what, he is certainly confident in his batting abilities.
And even look at Jesse Singh. He's worked on his batting.
Agreed. Jesse's solid.
Look against Oman, what he did in that ODI back in Florida to get them to that super over.
Stephen Wigg, too.
And again, if you can provide a little bit with both, you become so much more valuable.
As a fast bowler in this country, if you can earn 2 to 3 overs in innings and bat at 7, 8, then you are very, very valuable. You're something that you're going to be priceless.
In the way you bat as well, it's not just you can survive at 7 or 8. You're going to score and score in a hurry.
And we do see with Shadley Van Schalkwijk.
Mm-hmm. It's a great reason.
His versatility.
He's come in at number 4 in an ODI to get us out of a bad spot.
And he's very capable of that. Bats from the left side, and he's going to get you 4 overs every game. I mean, if he was 3 years younger, the urgency to look for another like that wouldn't be as big.
Out. Very simple. Bosa tries to lift it, but Dhawan gets the last laugh. His second of the day, 84 for 9.
Just tries to bash this one, doesn't get enough of it. His bat wasn't really in line with the shot too much for too long. So if you mistime it in any way in that case, you're in trouble. So that ends the 16th over. Dhawan gets his second wicket. Atlanta 84 for 9. All right, and Fani Samhadri comes into the middle. And normally that's music to your ears if you're a fan of Atlanta, but that's only on the side when you have the ball. Let's see how he's improved his batting in the offseason. What do you think?
It's so valuable for Fani Samhadri in particular to improve his batting because that's his way back into Major League Cricket. Because he's such a unicorn with his bowling, but the fact that you know if you're going to give him 4 overs every single Major League game, and then that he can't provide with the bat, that's what holds him out.
I'll give him a comp, and that is our guy Holland, Dutchie, who wasn't used enough. Now, we both think he should be used for 4, but they only saw him as a 1 or 2 over guy, and it was because he has a good batting ability that he's in the team every time.
He's played that reverse sweep a couple of times today, Ravindra Prasad, and he's actually played it quite nicely.
He seems to like that shot. And let's see how high Lada flights this one.
Just short of Rishi Ramesh. You mentioned Shadley Van Schalkwijk. Again, minor league happening all over the country. Did you see how he started his day?
No.
He had a triple wicket maiden to start his day for the Seattle Thunderbolts yesterday. Joe Hickey on call, and it was absolutely brilliant. All of that. So make sure you're checking out all the action. There's plenty of it. And he's gone through with the googly. Plenty of action, plenty of movement. And the Baltimore Royals, well, they have handily won this with this egregious amount of turn.
Look at that. Fani Samhadri gives Lada a wicket. The two of them competing for the career league lead. Lada's going to get one out of that. 2 wickets on the day for Lada. 11 runs. 3.3 overs. Atlanta dead at 85 all out. Big net run rate boost if you're Baltimore in the table, and a table that might be decided by this.
And you look at that batting scorecard. It started with the low score of Manik Patel, and from that point, you really never felt the Lightning were in the game. Chen Shufu to follow, Nicholas Manohar, Mark Parchment, and again, just not enough. The highest score on the day was Mark Dayal at 15 runs, and when he scored his runs, you never really thought they were in the game either.
No, what a tough time. And thanks to this bowling attack from Baltimore, Adil Badi got a wicket. He looked fantastic. We saw a lot of wickets fall from the score of 70 to 85. We've seen 5-6 wickets fall in that span in the last 15 runs. And that's thanks to Rishi Dhawan, Mohammed Mohsin's 5-fer, spectacular stuff. Sarabjit Lada taking 2. You just can't go against Lada when you need that many runs.
You can't go against the Baltimore Royals at this point. 2 games, 2 wins, but don't leave us, guys. MLC Network's got plenty of games and plenty of action, so tune in to all the action going on across the country. But if you want to hang out at Church Street Park with us, you can. 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be back in action. We'll see the Atlanta Fire take on the Orlando Galaxy. Who claims a win there? We know who did it in the morning. Who rules the afternoon? Wait and find out. We can't wait to see you then.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's cost me 15 minutes. Oh, fuck. Is it really? Yeah. You want me to go get the food? Yes, please.